never seen in a Spurs shirt. Get him out of our club. Honest to God. Honest to God. Look, they're standing on the side of the pitch waiting to come on. I said it. We'll go 2-0 down. We'll go 2-0 down. What happens? 2-0. We are a disgrace. We're a disgrace of a football club. We deserve to be in the Championship. Honestly, mate. Honestly, I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen anything like this in my life. This team is absolute guff. Guff. They are guff all over the park. Guff. It is disgusting how bad this team is. It's disgusting. Disgusting.
Up Chelsea.
I cannot believe this team I'm watching. I cannot believe this team. How do I support this team? They are terrible.
talkSPORT Sports Update with Trust a Trader. When it matters, get the job done marvellously well by a verified Trust a Trader professional. talkSPORT.
With the headlines at 2 minutes past 4, I'm Tom Clayton. Good afternoon. A former FA chief has told talkSPORT the EFL had to stick by their rules and throw the book at Southampton.
If you're going to have a rule brought in after the previous instance that we had of spying when it was the Leeds Derby scenario, there's got to be some measures in place.
That's Adrian Bevington speaking to talkSPORT earlier on. Meanwhile, the Borough boss Kim Hellberg insists there's no feeling of vindication.
Punishment for me is not to decide, and I was never talking about punishment when I talked about it either. I talked about my emotions, and I think that's football, that's emotions, and that's what I've tried to be since I arrived here.
Hull boss Sergei Yukovic says whoever stands in their way, they're always going to be ready, but he's on board with the idea of Hull getting promoted automatically.
I think this is the best idea. So we are in the final, they kicked up Southampton, so the best scenario for one movie. But we will see what will happen on the end.
Hull's owner is considering legal action if his side loses on Saturday. The Championship playoff final is live on talkSPORT this Saturday. It's 3:30 to kick off. Meanwhile, we await news of a meeting at Southampton's training ground said to be attended by manager Tonda Eckert and owner Dragan Solak. Eckert met with players this morning. This is the club has started refunding fans who'd already bought playoff ticket finals for Wembley. Morgan Rogers has been named Europa League Player of the Season. Emi Buendia, John McGinn and Emi Martinez are all in the team of the season, as are Forrest Morato and Igor Jesus. This, as we understand, Rogers has made the England squad. So far, we understand all of Dean Henderson, Mark Gahey, Anthony Gordon, Lewis Hall and James Trafford are in, as is Man United's Kobbie Mainoo. These squads announced tomorrow morning. Get all the fallout on talkSPORT.
talkSPORT News.
The Chancellor's introducing a temporary cut on VAT over the summer, and Britain's going to adopt one of the world's most ambitious climate targets. Amelia's back at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. Our expert technicians can't do your spring cleaning, but they can keep your car's inbuilt safety tech in top nick. Visit quickfit.com and book today.
Cloudy and breezy in the north and northwest with a few outbreaks of rain. Elsewhere, warm and sunny spells developing through the afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Drive on talkSPORT. No Darren Bent with me, Andy Goldstein. But you know what? I don't even know who Darren Bent is. It doesn't matter. I've got Sir Steve Bruce alongside me. Good afternoon, Steve.
Good afternoon.
How are you? Are you well?
Yeah, I'm very, very good. Thanks for having me.
Our pleasure. Can't wait. By Jingo, we've got a show for you today. Aston Villa finally got their hands on silverware for the first time since 1996 as they become Europa League champions. Off the back of that, we'll be asking whether they can kick on and challenge at the top table now. On top of that, Kevin Ashworth joins us for this week's Drive Worldwide. We'll hear discuss potentially concerning English dominance in these smaller European competitions, and we'll find out who Steve thinks will and won't be going to the World Cup this summer ahead of England's squad announcement. That's tomorrow. Now, what day is it? Thursdays always mean what's happening, Benny, but Benny's not here. Doesn't matter. That's why we've got WhatsApp Brucey, of course. Get your voice notes in 03717223344. All that plus we'll hear the first part of Darren Bent's exclusive chat with Premier League champion Victor Gyökeres. That's why Bentley's not in today. All that and more coming up on Drive Time. You can get involved. 03717 223344. Yes, good afternoon, everyone, and what a show we got lined up in the presence of one of my heroes, my boy here, Steve Bruce, is alongside me. It's a strange world I live in, because really? I do this for a living, which is not a job, and then every so often they go, Steve Bruce is in next week for Bentley, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be so much fun. Thank you so much.
I'm not going to disappoint you, that's for
you
sure.
turning up means you're
really
disappointed.
Really,
How are you?
okay.
Good? Are you well? You look great.
I'm very, very good, yeah, absolutely.
Thanks so much for coming. We've got so much to talk about on today's show,
yeah,
right?
I bet.
And you and I have been chatting outside for about 45 minutes, and I've just been bombarding you with Man United questions.
Well, it's become pretty evident that you're a Man United nut, aren't you?
Yeah.
And of course, once that grabs a hold of you, that's always going to grab a hold of you. The amount of people around the world, around the country who support Man United is ridiculous. And, I had the privilege to be there for the best part of 10 years, and it's still a little part of me, of course.
Well, we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about Eric Cantona. We're going to be talking about Sir Alex Ferguson and Manchester United as they are today under Michael Carrick. All that is coming up a bit later on.
Right.
If you know what we're talking about when we do What's Happening Benton, then get your voice notes in now, 03717223344. If you don't know, it doesn't matter. I'll explain it as we go on, but we're doing it with Steve Bruce, so we'll be doing What's Up Bruce. Do you know what that is, by the way, Steve?
I don't know. You're going to have to, yeah.
You'll be fine. Have you got a spare change of clothing?
With me?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, that's fine.
Uh-oh.
No, it doesn't involve anything like that. You'll be fine. We're going to have fun this afternoon for the next 3 hours. And, of course, there's only one place we can start, and that's with Aston Villa and their search for silverware, which is now over. So, can they kick on and challenge the big boys next season?
Buendia, left-hand side of the penalty area. Low ball in. There's number 3. Morgan Rogers tapping in from Buendia's cross. And if there was ever any doubt, it has now been erased.
That victory means so much to everyone involved with Aston Villa.
I think this is the start of a period for Aston Villa where they can really excel.
I think he's now, with Pep leaving in the summer, he's the best manager in the Premier League.
Right across the Midlands. If you're cloud and blue, this is your night.
What a night and what a final. Aston Villa won their first European trophy for 44 years last night as they smashed Freiburg 3-0 in the Europa League final. It was all one-way traffic. It's also their first major silverware since 1996. The boss, Unai Emery, spoke to the media after the game, said that everyone at the club has worked towards this trophy.
The ambitions of the club as well is very important, and how we did the process, and we are, of course, in this process, makes sense everything we did and how we are achieving this trophy, and how we are getting our development clearly in different process strongly, and with this trophy we are sure we need as well, and the club as well in a lot of things is trying to get better.
Let's start with the game itself. It's always good to score a goal just before half-time. To get two just before half-time is something special. How pleased are you, one of your former clubs, to see them finally end their wait for a trophy, Steve?
Well, in the end, it became, as soon as they scored, it became very, very easy for them, didn't it? There was a gulf between the two teams. And you have to just take your hat off to them, in particular the manager, who is very, very impressive. I had the privilege to manage the club some 8 years ago or whatever it was, and it was the start of the John McGinn era. And the ironic thing is that we didn't have the money to buy John, really. We had to delay time and all the rest of it because the new owners were allegedly coming in, and that's what happened in the finish. To see them through the next 8 years or whatever that's been has been quite remarkable, the turnaround. I remember having the job thinking, what a great football club it is. And it was in desperate trouble then after we lost the playoff final to Fulham. The club was practically bankrupt. The owners went missing. The CEO left. The director of football left. It was complete chaos for a while. But as I said, a few years later, with the management, which Unai has obviously been exceptional, And of course, the vision of the two owners, even though I didn't last very long with them, Wes Edens and Asef Suarez have done an incredible job. And they're a little bit hamstrung, really. I mean, I think the net spend of Aston Villa last summer was something like 25 million quid.
Incredibly low, yeah.
Incredibly low, which is quite remarkable. And I think they're stuck on with this financial fair play, which has been a little bit of a burden to them, because make no doubt about it, they want to be at the big table. They want to be competing at the top end of the division, top end of Europe, top end in the Premier League, but they're a little bit hands are tied behind their back with the financial fair play rules.
Well, in the audio package that we just played, I think it was Jamie O'Hara we heard from, who said that he's possibly now, Unai Emery, the best manager in the Premier League with Pep going. Would you agree with that?
Well, I think you have to probably agree with him. If Pep does go, I mean, he's an exceptionally talented manager. There is still some great managers in the Premier League too, I have to say. I'm going to say David Moyes has got to be in the same sort of, for me anyway, in the same category as Unai Emery. I know he's won 6. He's won 6 now of this Europa League. It's quite remarkable.
Insane.
But you have to take your hat off to him. He's had a wonderful 2-3 years. And of course, for me, looks as if he's always on the edge, but you look at the results they get, the players buy into what he wants. And of course, when you've got a bit of success, then he can do what he wants with the players and how he acts. But he's very, very talented.
There seems to be a bit of uncertainty in the Premier League. Chelsea got a new manager. Michael Carrick's gone in at Manchester United. It looks like that's going to be confirmed soon, just a matter of time. We don't know about Arne Slot, what his future holds. I'm guessing he's going to start the season, but again, we don't know. Arteta's, of course, just won the Premier League, but a relatively new, or young manager, I should say. Do you think this Aston Villa side, if they recruit correctly in the summer, have a chance of pushing for the Premier League title next season?
Well, I think they'll be in the mix. Again, the financial state of the club, we're not really privy to it, or have they got big funds to go and compete? And that's the problem. Can they go and spend? The owners want to spend. And I think it's about time they looked at these rules. Otherwise, we're never going to see a challenge to Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United, Newcastle, and particularly Aston Villa too. They both want to make a charge at them, but they're really they're stuck with the amount of money that they can spend in the transfer window, and that's the difficulty.
They've got Champions League football, they've got, of course, 2 domestic cups and the Premier League. How important is it going to be for them? We've seen it with Arsenal to get that squad in place for next season.
Well, that's the vital key to it, and same with Man United comes into that category too. I don't think there's been a season ever where Man United have only played 40 games in a season. They've gone out of the both cup competitions very quickly. They weren't in Europe, and they've played 38 Premier League games, so they're going to have to be exactly the same. And I'm sure Michael, in the conversations that he has over the last couple of weeks, recruitment again is going to be key. And last year, you have to take your hat off to Man U, the goalkeeper, and Mbeumo and Cunha and Sesko have all made a huge impact on Man U.
Yeah, I agree.
It took them a little time to maybe get started, but they've bought well. For the first time in a long time, Man U have bought well. And I'm sure every club is the same, where, you see the likes of a Bournemouth buy well, Brighton buy well, Brentford seem to buy well. The big club, Man City, have always bought well. So it's key. It's the big key thing is, can they recruit well? How can they get through the door? That's going to make a difference both in the Premier League and, of course, the tilt playing in Europe week in and week out.
Let's take calls on that. We've got a real busy show alongside the legend that is Steve Bruce, and you can speak to him by picking up the phone. We'll start with Aston Villa. Can they kick on and challenge the big boys this season or next season? And also, I'm sure Villa fans want to just phone up and shout from the rooftops what a game of football it was last night. And of course, that's why we're here weekdays 4 till 7, so you, the football fan, can have your say on national radio. All you have to do is call 03717 223344. Dial that. You could be next live on Drive on talkSPORT with me, Andy Goldstein, and more importantly, Steve Bruce is my guest for the next 3 hours.
Can you hear me? The Europa League champions do me a favour. Jude Law, cheeky. Can you hear me, cheeky? You almost took one hell of a beating. Can you hear me, Roberto Dispersi? You almost took one hell of a beating. Roberto Dispersi. You almost took one hell of a big cockerel. Ron Weasley. Beavertown Brewery. Can you hear me? Jamie O'Hara. Can you hear me, Jamie O'Hara? You almost took one hell of a beating. Can you hear me? Encouraging sign. Can you hear me? Encouraging sign. Can you hear me? Encouraging sign. You almost took one hell of a beating. The SA signing. Maybe a better more gift white signing. Adele. Lord Sugar. Tadarius Tapu. Can you hear me, Tadarius Tapu? You almost took one hell of a beating. Tadarius Tapu. Tadarius Tapu. Tadarius Tapu. Can you hear me, Tadarius Tapu? You almost took one hell of a beating.
I can't believe you just pulled out them two masks. I cannot believe what I've just seen. And we get beat 2-1 at the bridge again, mate.
O'Hara.
Oh, mate.
O'Hara's got an imps mask. He's got his,
I can't believe you've got an O'Hara mask. Where have you're sneaky, you lot. Yous are so bad. Honestly, yous are horrible. I don't know why I work here. I don't know why I work here. This is unbelievable stuff. All the stuff I do for this station, and that's how I get treated.
What do you mean?
You go and order an O'Hara mask and wear it on the night that Spurs get beat against Chelsea.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
I don't know what you're talking
mate,
about.
Take the mask off. Please, take the mask off, mate. I can't.
Is it Jay?
Oh,
Jay.
what a bad night, mate. What a
Mate,
bad
listen,
night.
you drew the second half, mate.
Oh, mate, don't start. Don't start.
I mean,
I knew it was going to be bad.
Listen, I don't know why you fall out at me over this. You drew the second half. And to be fair, I like the way that you kept booting the ball out of play just to keep the score down, because goal difference might come into it, mate. You never know.
It's Danny Dyer! Wig, not wig.
It's a nutty canister, either way. I mean, look at the nut on it.
Bob Odenkirk! Saul was great. He was just a breath of fresh air. Amelia Clark! Star Wars versus Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, definitely.
Don't-
I'm loyal.
Don't tell Alex Hassel!
In season 2, a lot of us get our clothes off.
You do know you did that in season 1.
Exactly, that's true, yes.
You're so afraid of that heart inside your chest. We were doing so well, but
Driver talkSPORT, me, Andy Goldstein, and Steve Bruce is alongside me in partnership with Giacomo Style and Brands for every man. This is your choice of music.
Well, the guys just walked in and asked me to play a song, and I have to say I went with my good lady to watch Olivia Dean. I think I was the oldest person in the room, by the way, but I have to say she was fabulous, and it was well worth.
Where was that? Where did you go?
Up in Manchester. Well, 10 days ago or whatever it was. It was, really, really wonderful. Very, very talented. Very, very talented young lady.
I'm a big fan of hers.
Oh, she's fabulous.
I think she won a Brit. My knowledge of music isn't that great. I'm sure she won a Brit.
She will win. She will win a lot more the way she's going.
Yeah.
I think she's burst onto the scene. Well, I think she's burst on. If I'm being brutally honest, didn't hear much about her at all until my good lady said we're going to go and watch Olivia Dean tomorrow. So that was.
Is that how it works?
That's how it worked out. We
Steve,
come on. We were with a couple having a bite to eat, and said, "Do you fancy going to see Olivia Dean tomorrow?" And okay, let's do it. Why not?
How nice is that?
Oh,
do you
great.
do you go gigging a lot?
I wouldn't say a lot, no, but I have to say, I went to see Oasis come back to play at Heaton Park in Manchester.
Enjoy that.
And that was something special. And thankfully, I was a bit wary that day of going along thinking, God, I'm a bit old for all this. But everybody was my age.
Everyone's going to be your age.
They're going to remember them like I did, 25, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
They were absolutely sensational. Absolutely.
They were. Did you get sorted out a free ticket, or did you have to pay for that?
No, we had to pay for them, and there were a lot of money as well, by the way. Heaton
Yeah.
Park. Yeah. And my son-in-law managed to get hold of one.
That's nice.
I spent a few quid and had a funny hat on. Yeah, I was singing along and
nice.
funny hat on, and of course it was raining and all. So
Great.
really, really good day.
We're going to talk about Aston Villa. There was apparently a problem with our phone lines, but they work now. So if you want to be ahead of the curve and phone up 03717223344 right now, you'll be first. It's that simple. If you want to talk about Aston Villa, what do they need to maybe win the Premier League? Can they win the Premier League next time? If you dial now, you'll be on talkSPORT in about 30 seconds' time. 03717223344. While you're doing that, let me just remind you, still to come, we'll be hearing your questions to Steve in What's Happening, Brucey. So this is your chance to ask Steve Bruce anything you want. It can be about football or just life. Send us your WhatsApp voice note, 03717223344, and you must start your message with What's Happening, Brucey. Just quickly, the FA have opened their own investigation into Southampton's conduct over Spygate. We will talk to you about that in today's show. I'm fascinated to hear your views on that. Aston Villa's goalkeeper, Martinez, has revealed he broke his finger in the warm-up before the Europa League final win last night. I read that. Is that a big deal for a goalkeeper? It must be, right?
Yeah,
Can you tape it out when you're fine?
Yeah, probably. I think they'll probably get a little bit used to it, but it'll still be sore enough. But thankfully, he didn't have much to do, did he?
Yeah.
He
was all one-way traffic.
He took a goal kick now and again, didn't he? He didn't have to catch one,
Thankfully.
did he? Thankfully, yeah.
Right, let's go to the phone lines. Let's speak to, I think it's Ramel. Is that how I pronounce your name?
Yeah, you got it, mate. You're all good.
How are you, man? Are you well?
Oh, ecstatic, mate. Absolutely ecstatic.
I bet you are. Where did you watch it last night?
We were at the Fan Park, which is the utility arena in Birmingham City Centre.
Yeah. What time did you go to bed?
Great atmosphere. Probably about 2 a.m. We all went to Villa Park after the game.
Amazing.
Running up and down the streets of Aston, man. It was great.
Wow. Was it busy around Villa Park?
Yeah. There was quite a lot of people, especially just after kickoff finished, because there was a couple of little spots where people were watching it around the stadium as well. So it was mainly busy straight after the game ended, but then people stayed in for a few hours afterwards as well.
Are you going to the parade?
Oh, mate, I wish I could. I'm at work at the moment, funny enough.
Just bunk off. No one will notice. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Oh, mate, honestly, if I could, I would, man.
What would you like to say? I've got Steve Bruce alongside me. What would you like to say?
Well, first things first, I'm going to say thank you to Steve Bruce for signing John McGinn.
Do you know something? Most Villa fans say that to me when I bump into some. You were the guy who signed John McGinn. Thank you for that.
Sign.
Nothing much else, though.
Oh, mate, I'll tell you what. I'm going to give you the best analogy you've heard today. Being a Villa fan in this moment, it's like having a best friend that you've known since you were about 5, and you've watched this best friend go through ups and downs, all aspects of life. One day this friend hits rock bottom and you think it's the end for him, but then suddenly he starts looking better and better. He starts improving. One day he calls you up saying he's got an interview for the job that he's been waiting for his whole life. And you're just sitting there waiting for that phone call to make sure he's got it. And then he phones you and says, I've got the job. That's the feeling I had last night. That's the euphoria, the excitement, the relief.
I've heard of a lot of analogies before. Never one so deep and long.
Wow.
That was a great one.
Wow, that's a great analogy of it.
Your best mate's got the big job, right? That's how you feel.
That's literally how it feels, mate, because it's just that relief of, obviously I'm 31, so I was only 1 when we last won a trophy. So I've never experienced my team lifting a trophy. So it's just that relief that, finally it's happened. I've seen it.
Well done. And you made it into work. That's a surprise.
Just about.
Well done. Thanks for your call. Let's go to Gary, also a Villa fan. Hi, Gary.
How you doing? Villa fans on the way back from Stansted Airport. We've just landed. We're on the M11 now.
Wow.
On the way home.
What was the flight back like?
Yeah.
Quiet.
Oh, brilliant. There's a lot of sleeping, a lot of bleary eyes on there, us included.
So were you lucky enough to get a ticket, or you were just there soaking it up?
Yeah, we all got tickets. There's about 20 odd of us gone. We've been to a lot of the European aways. It's been just an amazing journey. The last 3 years has just been phenomenal in Europe. And these owners and Unai Emery and Super John McGinn that Brucey signed, it's just been what a journey we've been on. We're having the time of our lives, absolute time of our lives.
Do you know it's quite remarkable? We talk about John McGinn and how the club has changed in 8 years. The big problem with John McGinn was could we stop him from signing from Celtic, but we had to delay a little bit because we didn't have the 2 million quid which we needed to buy him, really. And we'd identified him that he was the one player that we wanted to try and help us get through what was always going to be the challenge of trying to get out the Championship. And that was the big problem when you think of what they're capable of spending now. It just shows you the state of where they were. I mean, fair play to the new owners who've come in and really, really turned the club round. And it looks as if it's marching the right way, that's for sure.
How did you find John McGinn? How did that scenario happen?
I was talking to Neil Lennon, and I was Neil Lennon, who was the ex-Celtic manager, you know, and we were talking in Portugal, and he said the best young player in Scotland and it was John McGinn. And so then I remember ringing Archie Knox about him, you know, Sir Alex Ferguson's number 2 for a long, long time, and he said, it's a no-brainer, Steve. He said, but I'm here, and he's done and dusted to Celtic, and so we went to work on it, and we read all the stuff that came through. He's a really, really talented young player from a really good family. All his brothers are footballers, blah, blah, blah. And as I said, the big thing was stop him from signing from Celtic, and we got his dad down and his family to the Belfry, and got his dad playing golf. We heard he played golf, so we got him down to the golf course, and that bought us another couple of days. But yeah, the big thing was just trying to find the money to buy him, and thankfully we did in the end.
Look down the back of the couch.
Yeah, it was literally. I mean, look, we were selling car parks back in the day to pay the wages. It was close to going to the wall. I mean, big club, huge club like Aston Villa was in a poor state and financially, and thankfully these guys bought it very, very quickly and marched in and saved the day. And from the moment they've walked through the door, really, they've had a wonderful progression.
Did you think he was going to be as good a player, John McGinn?
Well, he made himself in the first 5 minutes of his debut. He's crashed a shot where the goalkeeper's made a save. He's crashed into a tackle. Then he sprayed a pass from 40 yards. And all of a sudden, within 10 minutes, he's a crowd favourite. You could just sense it from the first time he kicked the ball, he was going to be a crowd favourite. And to see him lift the cup last night was one of them moments where you think, well, it's good to see. It was good to see him be captain. For the 8 years he's had at the club, he's been a remarkable player.
Yeah. Are you still in contact with him?
A little bit, not a lot. Of if I bump into him. The tragedy for me is I only managed him for about 3 months because, of course, the new owners wanted wanted to make a change, and I can understand that. A new broom always sweeps clean, as they say. And I never really had to work with him for a long, long period. It was the same with Tammy Abrams. We brought him in, but thankfully the team went on to get up the next year. We lost to Fulham in the playoff final. Thankfully they turned it around and went up the following season.
Yeah. But you're responsible for him being at that club.
Well, every time I bump into a man in Aston Villa, I get reminded.
Good.
The only thing I did well, apparently.
No, that's unfair. We'll talk about all the other great things you've done in our show. Very, very busy show. I'm very excited about it. In fact, still to come, we'll be joined by Kevin Atchard for a bit of drive-by wide in just a moment. First, time for no Googling. We want to know who was the last Scotsman to captain a side to a major European final before John McGinn last night. Good question. Who was the last Scotsman to captain a side to a major European final before John McGinn? Don't guess if you know. Don't guess. We'll give the answer when we come. Do you think you know it?
Yeah.
Okay, don't say it.
No.
The answer to that and loads more coming up on Drive on talkSPORT. Me, Andy Goldstein, Steve Bruce alongside me till 7 p.m. today.
I met Arteta for the first time in October in a restaurant randomly. And I said to him, we're going to win the league because you've got the squad now that you've wanted. It's your vision. These are your guys. They play with your values. And I am certain we're going to win the league. And, this is all on Mikel Arteta. I absolutely take my hat off to this guy. He has worked his process, worked his project to now the ultimate fruition. And I think he's been absolutely brilliant. And I was one of the doubters early on First 2 seasons, we lost 13 league games each season. I was one of those thinking he's too young, it's too early for him, it's too big a job. And then I remember like early 2023 doing a whole apology in the Sun to Mikel. And from that moment on, for the next 3.5 years, I've absolutely bought in to what he's doing because I could see what he was doing. And I just think, Mikel Arteta, I want a statue, at least one statue of you, and I want a second statue of that idiotic Manchester City fan who did the bottle stunt because he must be feeling like the biggest mug in Britain right now.
Piers, I've got a question for you, mate. Fantastic Arsenal winning the...
Yeah, but what about a public apology? What about just apologising to me?
Well,
and
Ben, before we get, I want to come in here.
What for?
I want to come in here as referee, if I may. As referee, Piers, I think it's only fair. I mean, 2 words I never thought I'd associate with Piers Morgan are humble and pie, right? But we've got that from you this morning with Mikel Arteta. So I think it's only fair. I give the floor to my man on my left-hand side, Gabby.
Arsenal fans, everyone out there supports Arsenal. I apologise for mocking the season. Calling you bottlers. Great team, great fans, great football club. I apologise.
Brilliant. Well done. Piers, I want to ask you, mate, you
where's
touched
that
on it.
utterly useless half-wit Ahara who must be, I mean, how must he be feeling? Because I kept saying to you guys, I kept saying we were going to win the quadruple, and you didn't really understand what I meant. Arsenal to win the Premier League and Champions League, right? Cristiano Ronaldo to win the Saudi League, which he's about to do, and Tottenham get relegated. It is my dream quadruple.
Well, cast your mind back 3 weeks. Villa were 1-0 down after a chastening semi-final first leg at Forest, and this was our Gabby.
Buendia, soft player, not good enough for Aston Villa. Onana, made out of straw.
But life for a Villa fan looks very different now.
Buendia! Curling one into the top left-hand corner.
Buendia, left foot from there, weaker foot, top corner. Freiburg fans are silence of the Villa!
Unai Emery's 5th Europa League, of course, and the ultimate good evening. He's now won it with Villarreal, Sevilla and Aston Villa. The future king was bouncing and gave credit to the injured Boubacar Kamara for laying the foundation for their success. Elsewhere, Jamie O'Hara has shared his verdict on Saturday's playoff final, which will be live on talkSPORT, of course.
I think it's a sham. You can't have a playoff final with a team who got beat in a semi. That can't happen. And all this is because the EFL want their big money spinner, they want their big finish to the season with the big playoff final at Wembley.
We're also being told Tonda Eckhart is likely to get sacked and a ban. And Emmanuel Petit, David Moyes, Fabian Hertzler, Kyle Walker, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank and AJ Tracy will all be on the talkSPORT roster for the World Cup. We'll have wall-to-wall coverage all summer.
dancing, romancing. I'm romancing with Steve Bruce this afternoon. Remember this song?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Nolan Sisters.
Yeah. I wouldn't have gone to see them, though.
Well, what's wrong with Nolan Sisters?
No.
No, not yours.
No.
Not for you?
No.
Good tune, though.
Yeah, nice tune, yeah.
I bet you can't name all Nolan Sisters. I bet you can't tell me how many there were.
Oh.
How many? I have no idea. What, 5, 6?
4, 3?
What are you going for?
I don't know.
More than 3, yeah.
And I wouldn't have a clue who the
Jack,
names are. Sorry.
Jack, Linda. Linda, can you, Jack, find out how many Nolan Sisters in total there were, please? Before the break, I asked the question, who's the last Scotsman to captain a side to a major European final before John McGinn? Can you turn it down a little bit, please, Jack? Very loud today, Jack. Who are you going for?
Well, I thought it was Willie Miller, Alex McLeish. I'm looking back at Aberdeen team.
Liverpool legend.
Alan Hansen.
Midfielder, had a moustache.
Oh, Graham Souness.
Graham Souness. Against Roma in 84 European Cup. It's a long
Kenny
time ago,
Dalglish.
isn't it? Yeah.
Kenny Dalglish,
Mark
great
Robinson,
finish.
Alan Hansen. Oh, no, they probably weren't in that. Oh, were they in that team? They probably were.
Probably
actually,
would have been, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. What a team that was, by the way.
Unbelievable.
They were incredible.
I've
really
just been told how many sisters there were in the Nolans.
Really?
You said
3
or 4. I went 5. 6.
Wow.
Yeah.
And all of them sang?
I think so, yeah. Mr. and Mrs. Nolan were busy. Still to come, we'll be hearing your questions to Stephen. What's happening, Brucey? Your chance to ask Brucey anything you want about football or just life. Send us a WhatsApp voice now, 03717223344. Start your message with, well, Brucey. And, of course, put your name in it. Right, time now for this.
Drive worldwide. Why?
Yes, some bit of Drive Worldwide, where we take a look at some of the biggest talking points from across the world of football. Join us now as our European football expert, guru, and catchphrase king, as we say hello and good afternoon to Kevin Hatchard. Hello, Kev.
How are we, chaps? We well?
We're good, very well. Yeah, I'm guessing you've spoken to Steve Bruce many a time, Kev.
We've been on a show together once, just the one.
Just the one.
Or was that blind date? You
yeah,
one,
exactly.
number 2. Is that what it was? It's lovely to have you on our show, Kev. Thanks for that. Right, we have to start with last night's Europa League final. Aston Villa, of course, comfortable 3-0 winners. Were you expecting it to be as comfortable, Kev?
I expected Villa to win. I think if you look at Freiburg's record against the big hitters in Germany, if you look at all of their 7 away games against the other top 8 teams, they'd lost all of them. So I wasn't massively surprised. I thought they actually competed well until the opening goal, and then it was really tough for them after that. And I think then they got really caught out with the seconds and never really recovered. They're not great at chasing games. And I think that's fair enough, because you're looking at a team that has never been in a European final before, a team that had only ever been in one major final full stop before last night, and a team whose record signing was €10 million. I mean, it's remarkable they got as far as they got. They're not one of the big teams in Germany. A few years ago, they were just happy to put enough points on the board to stay up. And they still, actually, even though they've been qualifying for Europe for quite a while, they've got a tradition whereby as soon as they reach 40 points each season, the sporting director opens a bottle of champagne because they haven't forgotten where they came from. So, yeah, I wasn't surprised at all, really. It doesn't diminish Villa's achievement at all, but I wasn't massively surprised that there was a quality gap, no.
Yeah, I think before the game, I think everybody was saying, can they really compete with Aston Villa? And once Villa had seemed to score, the life seemed to suck out of the Freiburg team, didn't it? It was the reality of them that we were in for a tough evening today, and it was as if they didn't believe they could get anything up because it was so comfortable in the end. I seen the second half in particular. It was a stroll in the park for Aston Villa, but yeah, you're right. Freiburg are not one of the big giants of the Bundesliga, are they? So they've done very, very well to get there.
Kev, do you think? I mean, there's been a lot of talk about the fact that Champions League teams no longer drop into the Europa League. Therefore, we get mismatches sometimes in the final, like we did last night. Do you think the old format was better?
No, I was really up for getting rid of the dropouts. And I'll tell you why. For a start, I I'm really happy that teams like Freiburg, like Rayo Vallecano, have made historic runs to European finals, because I think sometimes we can focus too much on the destination and completely ignore the journey. Think how amazing it's been for those Rayo fans, those Freiburg fans, to get all the way to a final. Now, Rayo might have exactly the same thing that Freiburg have had, that Palace might score the first goal, it might be tough for them, and Palace might win that game comfortably. But what it doesn't do is it doesn't erase everything that's gone before and this incredible joy they've had at getting this far. The other part that I've never particularly liked is the idea that teams drop into a competition they never wanted to be in the first place and kind of limp along into a final. And it's seen as a second prize. It's seen as a consolation. I was never really comfortable with that. I was never really up for it. And I think this is much cleaner. I think it's much better. And so I'm quite happy to not have those Champions League dropouts in it.
Back-to-back English winners now in the Europa League. We could be about to have the same in the conference as well. Is English dominance in Europe a worry? Is it a thing now, Kev?
Yeah, I think it's a big issue. And it's not English football's fault. It's a mark of success. It's a mark of the incredible marketing of the Premier League. It's a mark of the quality that English football's been able to draw towards it. But it doesn't change the fact that UEFA have a problem. Now, I understand the counter-argument that people will say, well, hang on. In Serie A, there was dominance in the 90s. In La Liga, early part of this century, La Liga dominated. This is different because the gap is so big. And yes, it's not big to Bayern or PSG or, a couple of big hitters around Europe. But when you've got mid-table teams in the Premier League fishing in the same transfer waters as AC Milan or, in some cases, Atletico Madrid, that's an issue. Now, I don't know how UEFA solve it. I don't think the extra performance slot helps. I would scrap that personally. But that was giving us a sop to the big hitters because UEFA wanted to keep them on side.
I think what we're witnessing too of the Premier League is just how good it is. I mean, we keep waxing lyrical about it, well, what a competition it is now, and the teams who are in it and the players that are in it. And arguably now we've got some of the greatest players playing in the Premier League week in and week out. And it's very difficult for the clubs in Europe. And that's why, when we're scouring around Europe, to recruit and recruit well, it's such a gulf for them to come from the likes of Freiburg into the Premier League. And that's why it takes time for these players to adjust and adapt to what the Premier League is. Because you're right now, we're looking at Crystal Palace now, who, if they do their job right, which we're expecting them to do, they could be comfortable as well winning that one as well. And it just goes the strength of the Premier League is quite remarkable these days.
Right, let's quickly, what time? Yeah, we've got time for this. Let's quickly touch on Fulham manager Marco Silva, Kev. He's reportedly agreed to replace Jose Mourinho as the new Benfica gaffer. What are you hearing? The same?
Yeah, there seems to be gathering pace. There was talk of Ruben Amorim being linked. He's a former Benfica player, but it looks like he's distanced himself from it, and it looks as though Marco Silva is the choice. And the thing to bear in mind here is that for a Portuguese coach, this is an enormous job. I mean, it's an enormous job anyway. Benfica's, European royalty. But Portugal isn't one of the big hitting leagues at the moment. But the chance to win trophies with Benfica is alluring, even though they haven't qualified for the Champions League. That's the irony. They went through a whole league season unbeaten and finished third. So they didn't actually make the Champions League. But if he takes it, people might think, well, why would he go away from the Premier League? But that is an enormous job for a Portuguese coach.
Kev, you're a star as always. Thanks so much for coming on. We will speak to you on next week's show.
Cheers, chaps.
Thanks. There you go, the wonderful Kevin Hatchard. We have a bit of breaking news, Steve. You can react to it before anyone on the planet. A talkSPORT exclusive as well. How about this? We understand Harry Maguire will not be named in Thomas Tuchel's England squad tomorrow. Harry Maguire will not be named in England's World Cup squad. We understand he said he's absolutely gutted and shocked. If that is the case, and very rarely, if at all, does talkSPORT get it wrong, so let's go with that. What do you make of the fact that Harry Maguire won't be going to the World Cup with England?
Well, that is a big call. I am absolutely shocked. I thought he was a stick-on, especially the end of season which he's had. He's the one centre-back where really his experience in these sort of competitions, for me, he's never let England down at all. I would have thought he would have gone just for his experience and his know-how and what he is, and that's a big shock. That could arguably be the biggest shock of all, that he's not made the plane.
When you say the experience he's got. I understand that, but just explain in more detail. You've been in that dressing room because Jordan Henderson is another player that I hear at this stage of his career. One of the reasons is included is because he's so good in the dressing room and his experience counts for a lot. Why is that such a big thing, Steve?
It's a key, and I also think centre backs is the one position, probably like goalkeepers. Goalkeepers are the same. They get better with experience. I believe that I was better at 31 than I was at 21. Just because of reading the game, how it is, and especially at the highest level. I never got to play for England, but I'm sure Harry would have thought he was a stick on to go, and I'm shocked by it. I tell a lot of people when I went to Aston Villa and the dressing room was difficult and this, that, and was difficult and everything was difficult. I brought in John Terry, a 35-year-old, and the difference he made to the dressing room himself was quite immense. People looked to him and thought, wow, this is what you have to be a player. And it's a little bit different in international level, I get it, but your experience, a Jordan Henderson, a Harry Maguire, have been there, done it, wore the T-shirt, know what's expected, and I would have thought their experience of being around the dressing rooms might have just helped them get there.
You know him particularly well, right? You signed him for Hull?
Yeah, I signed Harry from Hull, from Sheffield United, and you watch from afar, and he's had a wonderful career. And you know, a couple of years ago, he seemed to be the whipping boy of everybody. You know, he can't do this and he can't do that. Harry, being Harry, is played on the pitch and he's done remarkably well, and he's really, really turned everybody round again. And just when he's playing really well, he's probably had that shock today, and if probably he's had the phone call if that is the case. And as I say, that's a big call for the manager to make. That could be the shock of everybody, really. I mean, I think Kobe Mainoo, who you're reporting on it before there, I think he was already on the plane, if I'm being brutally honest. But that is a bit of a shock because, as I said, for his experience, his know-how, I thought Harry would have went.
If you just turn on your radio and you're wondering what shock he's talking about, talkSPORT understands Harry Maguire will not be named in England's World Cup squad. That's going to be announced tomorrow, but we understand that Harry is said to be gutted and shocked. As always, you can have your say on all the breaking news. So, United fans, England fans, what do you make of that? No, Harry Maguire, is that the right or the wrong decision? 03717223344. A reminder, of course, Adrian Durham, of course, will bring you talkSPORT's breakfast show tomorrow, and that's from 6, where himself and Stuart Pearce will bring you that England squad in full. But the breaking news here at talkSPORT is we understand Harry Maguire will not be named in England's World Cup squad. You can react next by picking up the phone now, 03717223344.
I thought it was great at the end of the game, the way the players were with him.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Emi Martinez picked him up.
Because we saw a wee side to him that you don't see.
Yes.
We saw a different side to him.
What was funny, though, when Emi Martinez picks him up, on the clip behind, you can see the players are a bit like Tyrone Mings. They're laughing like, oh, my God, how has he done that?
Yeah.
Because then they know that, like, the manager's not really like that.
Yeah.
He doesn't like to be the centre of attention.
Yeah.
But it was incredible scenes, Ali, afterwards. So emotional for so many Villa fans. And we were lucky to be in the stadium.
Brilliant.
All the clips back home, Ali, like, so many places showed the game. Thousands of fans on the streets still now celebrating across the world. How many fans I spoke to last night that have come from Australia?
See,
They've got 4 flights to get here.
Same.
Some fans have not had a hotel room overnight. They've got the early flight this morning, so they just stayed up. Some fans have got to get them back through Germany, through different parts of Europe to get home. But what that win means for every Aston Villa fan in the world, Ali, it's just unbelievable. I can't describe in words, and I hope we get some good callers on today. And they'll have their stories of what this means.
I'm
to
sure
them.
we will, mate. Yeah. Okay, 6:20. We're the champions, of course, rang out at Besiktas Park as Aston Villa get their hands on that Europa League trophy. I wonder if you've learnt the words by now, Gab. Here's
I know, mate, I know.
Well, listen, we're going to bring you back down there for a crashing bang, my friend. Here's your rendition of that classic last night in the stadium. fantastic. Good on you. I was just
hilarious, mate.
I met all the Villa fans before the game, man, and they were brilliant, Gabby. Brilliant. Older gentlemen, young boys.
Ali, there's been no incidents.
Not wig. It's a nutty canister, either way. I mean, look at the nut on it.
Bob Odenkirk! Saul was great. He was just a breath of fresh air. Amelia Clark!
Star Wars versus Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, definitely.
I'm
loyal.
Don't tell
Alex Hassel!
In season 2, a lot of us get our clothes off.
You do know you did that in season 1?
Exactly, that's true, yes.
Drive and talkSPORT, me, Andy Goldstein. I've got Steve Bruce alongside me today in partnership with Giacomo. Get fresh looks and great brands from Giacomo. Still to come, we're hearing your questions in What's Happening Brucey. Still time to get those in. Loads of time. 03717 2233 we'll take your calls on all things Harry Maguire, the breaking news. talkSPORT understands he's left out of that World Cup squad. That squad will be announced tomorrow. Stuart Pearce and Adrian Dunn on the Breakfast Show. But we'll be taking your calls on what you make of that decision. talkSPORT understands Harry Maguire has been left out of that World Cup squad. 03717 2233 Now, are we going straight to it, are we? Okay, we were going to go to Aston Villa's parade, but we're not now because we're going to go straight to the phone lines. Jonathan is a Man United fan. Hi, Jonathan. How you doing?
Hello, mate. You all right?
I'm good, man. What do you make of the news?
I can't lie, I think it's absolutely shocking. I thought he would be a nailed-on starter.
Yeah.
I thought he would be guaranteed to start. He's shown his leadership. I mean, he's had a fairly decent season as well for United. Me and my old man go up to pretty much all the England games up at Wembley as well. And when he came on, I can't remember who it was playing against, but when he came on for the last 10, 15 minutes of a cameo, he absolutely bossed it. He ran the show. He got corners, had a few headers, a couple saves made off his shots. I just think without taking him, we're lacking something.
Okay. Thanks for your call. Keep them coming in. Before I go to the next line, one of the things I thought the reason we'd take Harry Maguire, last 10 minutes, set piece, we need a goal.
Yeah,
he's great for that.
He's very, very good in both boxes, isn't he? That's his big strength for me.
Yeah.
It's a big call. We're just, we're talking off air there of who will go now.
Who would be your four?
Well, I think Gahey and Konsa are an absolute stick on. I think they're the start, and they're 1 and 2 by the looks of it.
Yeah.
And then you've got to look at the situation with Stones. Is Stones fit physically well? He hasn't played a lot, which would concern me to go into a World Cup. And I think looking from the outside, Colwell and Dan Burn look as if they're going to make up the squad. I would be, as I said, amazed if Stones makes it. Although I do believe Thomas Tuchel likes him, but I think we all like him. We all like John Stones. If he's fit and healthy and well, just hasn't played for a long, long time, which would be a concern. So it looks as if it'll be Colwell and Dan Burn.
Do you think Declan Rice could be an option there if we needed him?
He's an option there. You could play him there, but you're talking about one of your top players playing out of position. I don't think that would come into his thinking. I wouldn't have thought. I think he's got his structure in place, and he will have it in his place. And listen, he's a very, very, very good manager. But that is the breaking news of Harry is quite remarkable.
From what talkSPORT understands, Thomas Tuchel is a huge fan of Levi Colwill.
Yeah, well, he's obviously worked with him before and knows what he's capable of. So it's such an important position. I'm going to say that because I was an ex-centre half. You know, it's such a big, important position. And you're right. You know, if you're chasing a game, Harry, as we've seen him play for England the last time, you know, you can put him in the penalty box and play direct to him. Yeah, big call. But then again, he's a big manager, and I'm sure there'll be one or two other ones. But I think that is the biggest shock of all, if that is true.
Let's take another call, shall we? Phil is a West Ham fan. Hi, Phil. Good afternoon to you. Welcome to Drive.
Good afternoon, Andy. Good afternoon, Steve.
Good afternoon.
I'm shocked and a bit disappointed, to be honest, because he's worked really hard to get himself back into the reckoning. And I think Steve alluded to that earlier when he said, you know, a year ago he was getting a lot of negativity. For me, like you just said, Andy, he gives us an option up front, but he also gives us that calming influence at the back. And I think we're going into a major tournament, and you can't doubt Thomas Tuchel's record, but we're going into a major competition with a lot of young players, and I thought the whole purpose of taking Henderson was so that we had some maturity in the dressing room, but surely the effect that his playing time is going to be limited compared to what Maguire's was, and Maguire has that experience of major tournaments. And I'm just shocked. I'm concerned that Levi Colwill, who's come back from an injury, and thank God he's all right, but supposing he gets injured again.
Yeah.
I just think it's a really strange decision for someone who's worked so hard. That quite clearly, yes, he's worked hard to improve his, to get his Manchester United career back on track. But I think also part of it was to get back into the England reckoning. And I've been really disappointed for him that he hasn't been rewarded.
Good call. Thank you for that. What I find interesting is a year ago, maybe 18 months ago, if you would have done a phone-in suggesting that Harry Maguire's made it into the squad, you'd be have people phone up going, why has he made it in? He's not good enough. But in that 18 months, the turnaround now, I think the majority of England fans are really surprised that he hasn't made it into that World Cup squad.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people surprised that he hasn't made it. And take Michael when he gets a job at Man U. All of a sudden, Harry's fit and available. So is Martinez. And they hadn't been for a long, long while. And the difference they've made to Man U, especially Harry coming into the team and probably playing in the back four, has helped Harry because he's played that all his career. But he's had a remarkable turnaround in 18 months, because there was a time when I thought he was going to leave Man U. He seemed to be always the whipping boy, and that trickled into the England scenario. When you really analyse Harry, he's never done anything wrong at all. Never put a foot wrong for England, as far as I'm concerned. But as I said, big call, big manager. This is what it's all about. These big decisions, which big managers have to make.
I can move the story on a bit. This is why you listen to talkSPORT before anyone else on the planet. I've got all the other media outlets in front of me. No one's gone with this yet. We've got it. It's confirmed. talkSPORT have an exclusive comment from Harry Maguire. Now, we broke the news 6 minutes ago that we understood that he'll be missing from Thomas Tuchel's World Cup squad. Well, I can confirm that is the case. Harry Maguire has given us a comment himself. Harry Maguire has said, I was confident I could have played a major part this summer for my country after the season I've had. I've been left shocked and gutted by the decision. I wish the players all the best. So that is a gigantic talkSPORT exclusive. We've broken that news before anyone else. The big news. And it's still not on any other major sporting outlet or news outlet as well. We've brought that news before anyone else on the planet. talkSPORT can confirm that Harry Maguire is not going to the World Cup with England. You can have your say by picking up the phone. We'll take your calls next. 03717 223344. I know loads of you want to have your say. Don't hang around. Pick up the phone now on that breaking exclusive news that Harry Maguire is not going to the World Cup.
Things though with Villa, right? Unai Emery is the man. He is like, he has full control over everything. Transfers, youth club, there's no one telling him what to do. And there's been rumours about him going to Madrid. Can you imagine him going to Madrid, mate? If he's going to bench Mbappe to play someone else, mate, he'd get ousted straight away, wouldn't he?
Yeah, no.
Do you know what I mean?
It's the perfect fit. It's the perfect club. It's the perfect.
I know, but you're still Aston Villa, though.
What do you mean, Cundy?
Well, you mentioned Real Madrid, right?
Yeah.
Who's the bigger team?
What do you mean?
Cundy, come on, mate.
No, hold on a second. Hold on. Are you sorry? Have you taken stupid pills?
I don't know what.
Sorry. Are we? Sorry.
Were you trying to say Aston Villa bigger than Real Madrid?
No, of course not, mate. Of course not.
What are you trying to say, Joe? I don't know what you're saying. Explain yourself.
No, hold on. He's saying he wouldn't go to Real Madrid.
Yeah, because he's not in control.
Sorry, unless I've got you wrong, Dave.
Yeah, because he's not in control.
It's Real Madrid. What's wrong with you lot? Are you joking me?
Cundy, mate. Are you joking? Listen to me, right? Hang on, Cundy.
David. Listen to me. Are you saying to me he'd turn down Real Madrid?
As a manager? Right. So
no, man. What do you think I'm talking about?
Cundy, listen to me, right? He could go to Madrid, right? And
Dave, think about what you're going to say before you say it, okay?
Cundy, mate,
you're trying to think about it, okay?
You are.
He's annoying me.
Take it away.
Dave, he's annoying me.
Yeah, your canister is way bigger than your brain, mate. I swear down.
Say it then, Dave. Say it. So here's the situation. I'm going to throw it to you. Do you want the job? Unai, do you want the job?
It's career suicide, Cundy. It's career suicide. If you went to Real Madrid, right, you have 6 months, he'd oust Mbappe, he'd get ousted by the fans, and then he'd be done. Right, at Villa, I'll tell you what, he could play bloody Tyrone Mings at striker, and I'd still trust the process. Do you know what I mean?
Are you saying he's going to say no to Real Madrid?
Yes. Kindly give Red a ball, mate. You're Chelsea. Where are you? 9th.
I tend to agree with you.
I don't know what to say today.
No, I get the whole. I get James. I get your whole argument.
Say to him.
No,
I don't know what to say today.
Shut up a minute.
Middlesbrough's manager says the last few weeks have left him feeling rather tired. Kim Hellberg has spoken publicly for the first time since the EFL sent Borough through to the Championship playoff final. Hellberg has been asked if he feels vindicated over Southampton's punishment.
Punishment for me is not to decide, and I was never talking about punishment when I talked about it either. I talked about my emotions. That's football, that's emotions, and that's what I tried to be since I arrived.
But how will the public react if Borough win? Live on talkSPORT this weekend, football legal expert Stefan Borsan has given his verdict.
They've been fortunate that they happened to play Southampton, who happened to spy on them, that then happened to be expelled. They've benefited from that. They now need to go and win the game, and I think we'll forget about it in due course.
Well, if Hull City do indeed lose the final, their owner has suggested he'll review his legal options. Hull's manager Sergei Yerkerovich insists his side was always going to be ready for Saturday, regardless of the opponent.
We know everything about them, they know everything about us, so we will see now Saturday. Our main focus is this final game, so no matter who will be our opponent, our focus and concentration is on our team, what we can do there, how we can use our advantages.
Meanwhile, could Southampton boss Tonda Ecker be sacked tonight? Well, he met the players at the Saints training ground earlier. We understand owner Dragan Solak is furious as the FA opens its own investigation into the individuals around Spygate. Elsewhere, talkSPORT understands Dean Henderson, Mark Gahey, Anthony Gordon and Lewis Hall have all made the England squad for the World Cup. Henderson will arrive late to the camp because of the Conference League final. Thomas Tuchel is also reportedly strongly considering calling up Levi Colwill. Meanwhile, following Villa's demolition of Freiburg last night, Gabby Agbonlahor says Morgan Rogers is a certainty for England's starting 11 this summer.
I think he's going to be one of our key players for the tournament, and the Thomas Tuchel loves him.
And Mikel Arteta says Jurrien Timber could be fit for the Champions League final. Plenty more, as always, at talksport.com.
Welcome back to our number 2 drive time on talkSPORT. Me, Andy Goldstein Steve Bruce alongside me. Still to come, we'll be hearing your questions in What's Happening, Brucey. Still time to get them in. 03717223344. If you're just turning on your radio, you might not be aware of the talkSPORT exclusive breaking news this evening. We understand Harry Maguire is not going to be named in Thomas Tuchel's England squad. That World Cup squad announcement is tomorrow. Harry Maguire will not be a part of it. In fact, how about this? talkSPORT have an exclusive comment from Harry Maguire himself. This is what he told us. I was confident I could have played a major part this summer for my country after the season I've had. I've been left shocked and gutted by the decision. I wish the players all the very best. That is absolutely huge, a huge talkSPORT exclusive. We want to hear from you, 03717223344. Can I just tell everyone, right, that I've got all the news outlets in front of me. No one's gone with it yet. I can tell you we're going with it because we know for a fact that is actually the fact now. That's happening. Harry Maguire will not be going with England to the World Cup. So that is one of the many reasons why you keep listening to talkSPORT. And, of course, you can have your say by picking up the phone, 03717223344. Just quickly, because we're going to go up the lines in a moment, Steve Bruce, because everyone wants their say on it. We've had a couple of moments now with the news going on and the couple of outbreaks either side of it to sort of digest it. How stunned are you that Harry Maguire is not going to be part of that England setup for the World Cup?
Well, I am shocked with it because I honestly thought he was a stick-on because we haven't seen Stones playing for a long time. Colwell's another one, even though I know the manager, we believe he likes him.
Loves him,
likes him, which we can understand. He's a good young player, don't get me wrong. We haven't seen a lot of him playing either. And just for his know-how, his experience and his ability, first and foremost, I would have thought, I didn't think he would be starting for England. But if we get an injury to one of the first two choices, then for me, Harry would have been the ideal replacement because, as I said, he's been there, done it, wore the T-shirt.
And that option as well, if we need a goal with 10 minutes
to get a goal, he's excellent in both boxes. How often have we seen him make first contact? He's very, very good in both boxes. It's a bit of a shock, and well done talkSPORT for getting the exclusive on it. Absolutely.
Let's go to the phone lines. Josh wants to have his say on that. Hello, Josh. Good afternoon to you.
Hello, mate. You okay?
Good, man. How are you? You all right? What do you make of that news?
I just wanted to... Yeah. Well, I've got to be honest. I've been dreading the England team coming out all week, and obviously it's coming out properly tomorrow. But everyone's gone quiet on the Trent thing, as well as the Harry Maguire that we're hearing now. There's no way in any right mind that Dan Burn, Colwell, get in front of Harry Maguire. There's no way on earth. He's in the opposition's box, breaking the lines from the back, skipping a player to get us up the pitch. And when you need a get out of jail card in a tight game where he can get a nod on the back post, he's the man. Gay and Concert, they're going to start. They don't add what Maguire does in that box. So for me, it would have been Gay and Maguire. And then as well as not taking Trent, because he's not going to go.
No.
Of not getting picked recently. You're also missing that unlocking in different areas, getting balls in the box. No one can do what Trent can do with that ball. It's bizarre. I dread to think what the other shocks are going to be tomorrow, but he's had a good second half of the season as well, Maguire.
Josh, can I just ask you, if all the England centre-halves are fit, you're saying Harry Maguire starts, does he, in your world?
In my world, I'd start just off what he's done previously. I would have played Maguire and Gay, but there is a shout for Concert and Gay because they've both had great seasons. But it's like when you look at Pickford, say, some people are just dead set where they've been good for years for England, and it probably is Harry Maguire's last chance to play at a World Cup. And I just feel like him missing out is massive.
Josh, don't you think
it's a game where we're having problems?
Yeah, Josh, don't you think that it's the one area where, defensively wise, we're looking at it, all of us are thinking we've got really, really top players and everywhere, all over the pitch. Defensively wise, that's my just biggest concern of all is if we do pick one or two injuries up, which you can in a tournament, don't get me wrong, especially defensively, That is a bit of a worry to us, I have to say.
100%, Steve. I think you're bang on. I think when you look to your left and you've got Nico O'Reilly, who's had a great season, you need experience next to them. You can't just rely on, say, do you know what I mean? Like I find it bizarre. Reece James, great player.
I mean, Conser and Gahey are a stick on there, absolutely, of the seasons they've had, and rightly so. And the goalkeeper we mustn't forget, because he's been quite exceptional year in, year out, Pickford, I have to say. So they don't concern me at all. It's just the defensive, the makeup of all of the defenders is just a slight concern. It stops us from me being an absolutely world-class team, because we have got really, really world-class players all over the pitch in forward areas. I'm not sure we have defensively.
Tony's up next, Man United fan. Hi, Tone.
Hello, guys. Steve, first of all, I'd like to say one of the greatest defenders who never played for England, and
you.
one of the nicest guys I met in football. You used to wear our boots many years ago, and I remember ringing your house for a photo shoot, and your wife said, "Sorry, Tony, he's not here, he's gone to work." And I couldn't get that in the head that you'd gone to work. Do you know what I mean? So
I wore your boots. What kind of boots were they?
Mitre.
Oh, really? Tony, it's you, is it?
Right, this is your life, isn't it? You haven't seen him for 20
years. Wow.
Right, listen,
Wow.
We'll move on quickly, because so many people want to have their say on all things
Quickly,
Harry Maguire.
I've got
What's
to be
your view on
honest.
it?
After all I've said, I've got to disagree with Steve.
Okay.
Harry Maguire's not a world-class defender. I was fortunate enough to go to a couple of Euro games, the last Euros in England. I was sat right at the front by the penalty line, and every time Harry got the ball, the other defenders were telling him what to do with it, and that's my experience. And yeah, he's had a great second half of the season, but I don't think he's world class, Steve.
I didn't say he was world class, and by the way, that's one of his strengths for me, that he handles the ball better than most defenders. I mean, I've had the privilege to sign him and work with him and watch him. He handles the ball very well. I never said he was going to be world class. What I'm saying is, it's a shock that he hasn't made the squad. I didn't expect him to start for England. I think Gahey and Conser are a stick-on in that respect. They've played for their respective clubs week in and week out, and Gahey's made the big move to Man City and done very, 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 very well. But yeah, it's just it's a shock to me that he hasn't made part of the squad, because he's vast experience just in case something happens to one of these two.
We'll take more calls in just a moment. 03717223344. If you're just turning on your radio, talkSPORT have an exclusive comment from Harry Maguire, who we understand is not going to be part of England's World Cup squad. And this is the quote from Harry to us here at talkSPORT. If you see this quote anywhere else, by the way, they've nicked it from us, because we've got it. This is the quote: "I was confident I could have played a major part this summer for my country after the season I've had. I've been left shocked and gutted by the decision. I wish the players all the best." You can have your say by picking up the phone 03717223344. You're listening to talkSPORT, and we break news before anyone else on the planet.
What was your overriding emotion last night, watching it all unfold and feeling as you do for this great club?
I think for me, it's Aston Villa, a sleeping giant. You know, European Cup winners in 1982. All you ever heard was, "Oh, you wasn't born. You wasn't born when Villa won that. They've only won last trophy was 30 years ago." So it was that pressure, sort of that monkey off the back for Aston Villa fans and the players and the football club. But emotion as well, Jim, because I spoke to so many Villa fans, parents that have passed away, you know, family members that have passed away, and what this would have meant to those people that aren't here today. And people are going through a lot. You know, everyone's going through a lot, football fans. What last night can do to give people a boost what they're going through in their life. It was amazing to see my people, my fellow Brummies, so happy.
Brilliant. Your people. You're right, your people. In terms of legendary status, Gabby, where is this group now?
Oh, they're legends. And I say this all the time, Jim, I don't like to be called a legend. I feel legends of a football club need to win something. I really do. The 1982 players, they're legends of the football club. Now, these group of players are, and the one player, I don't like to pick one, but the one player that stands out for me is our captain. Scotland are lucky to have him, John McGinn. Immense, and I was so happy for him, what he's been through for this football club. The small price that Aston Villa paid for him, was it 2.5 million? What a player, what a nice guy, and what a captain.
Gabby, can I ask you personally, did you watch with regret last night that you never quite experienced a night like that?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, we got to the Carabao Cup final, we got to the FA Cup final and lost, but to get to a European final and get it over the line, the pressure that was on the players, because they were highly favourites in the game as well, to win against Freiburg, it wasn't like a jealous feeling. It was like, wow, I missed out. Wow, what I'll do to be on that pitch to share that, because the players...
It's Danny Tyler! Wig, not wig.
It's a nutty canister, either way. I mean, look at the nut on it.
Bob Odenkirk!
Saul was great. He was just a breath of fresh air.
Amelia Clark! Star Wars versus Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, definitely.
Go.
I'm loyal.
Don't tell me. Alex Hassel!
In season 2, a lot of us get our clothes off.
You do know you did that in season 1?
Exactly, that's true, yes.
Listen, Joe on talkSPORT, me, Andy Goldstein Steve Bruce. Still to come, we'll be hearing your questions in What's Happening, Brucey. Still time to get them in. I'm looking at one more, Billy. I have a lot of questions coming, Billy. He says, could do better. 03717223344. Any question you got for Steve Bruce, stick it on a WhatsApp. Put your name in it, on it, but it must have What's Happening, Brucey. Just quickly, a reminder of our exclusive comment. Breaking news from Harry Maguire. Following his omission from Thomas Tuchel's World Cup squad, he told us, I was confident I could have played a major part this summer for my country. After the season I've had, I've been left shocked and gutted by the decision. I wish the players all the best. We will pick that up a bit later on. We did about half hour on it because there's so much we need to get your views on, Steve Bruce. We're going to turn our attention to Southampton. They've, of course, lost their appeal after being expelled from Saturday's playoff final. That comes after they admitted spying on 3 teams this season. That, of course, includes Middlesbrough, who now take their place against Hull, live on talkSPORT this weekend. The Borough boss, Kim Helberg, has been speaking to the media ahead of the game. He reflected on everything that's happened over the last couple of weeks.
A lot of emotions. It's been, like you said, a crazy time. It's been back and forth, a lot of different emotions from losing the game to everything being involved, trying to keep your head in the game for what may happen, and it's been a lot of emotions, and I'm very happy to be here. I think punishment for me is not to decide, and I was never talking about punishment when I talked about it either. I talked about my emotions, and I think that's that's football, that's emotions, and that's what I try to be since I arrived here. Try to be honest, try to be open, not using the not comment or not being like that. I'm just trying to be open with my emotions. It was never about anything else than that, and I think you can look at it again. That's what I talked about from my point of view. So I have nothing to do with the decision or punishment or what is right or wrong. I just talked about my emotions through the situation.
We'll get your views on all of it in just a moment, Steve, but have a listen to this. The whole boss, Sergei Yakirovich, has also been speaking ahead of Saturday's game. He said he always backs his players to win no matter who they're playing.
We know everything about them, they know everything about us, so we will see now Saturday. Our main focus is all this, when we reach the finals, it's this final game. So no matter who will be our opponent, our focus and concentration is on our team, what we can do there, how we can use our advantages.
It's been an unbelievable story over the last couple of weeks. What do you make of it all? I suppose the obvious question I have to ask you, is it the right thing to do to kick Southampton out?
Well, let me start with it by saying I thought originally it was a bit harsh. Yes, they've done wrong and they've been caught hook, line and sinker, haven't they? I mean, it's just ridiculous of what they've done, and the punishment doesn't seem quite right to me. I have to say that. Although saying that in our country, you know, when you're caught cheating in our country, we don't like it at all, do we? And something like spitting at somebody is another one where, you know, in this country it's frowned upon so badly. You could punch somebody and get away with it probably than spit at somebody. But I do think it's a little bit harsh. Having said that, I'm just absolutely flabbergasted that in today's world, for all the stuff that you've got, analysts can give you any bit of anything you want on Middlesbrough. We all know how Middlesbrough play, what they're trying to gain out of it is beyond me. You know, apart from maybe they know the team, you know, but then again, you would know their team inside out if you were a manager in the Championship. So I really find it staggering, the whole thing. I do feel sorry for the supporters of Southampton. And also have it for the players. I would be absolutely, as a player, who probably have the chance to, you know, I'm not saying it's all about money, but the chance to play in the Premier League. And then, of course, the finances that go with that. I'm sure some of them lads would probably have a 40-50% increase in their salary by playing in the Premier League next year. So I feel for the players, the supporters. What on earth the staff are doing at Southampton is really, really... I mean, it'll be interesting to see now what the owner makes of it, and who makes the big calls and who was responsible. The FA are now looking into it, of course, so we will find out who was responsible for it. But I find the whole thing pretty sad, really, because it is a huge, huge game, and it's all we've been speaking about is the Spygate. It's credible.
When you say you think the punishment is a bit too harsh...
Yeah.
I agreed with you maybe 2 or 3 days ago, but having looked into it in a bit more detail, my view is if they've gained even a 1% advantage over, let's just say, Middlesbrough, and that 1% has helped them get to the final, they shouldn't be in that final.
Well, we know statistically wise, Middlesbrough slaughtered them on the Saturday and they should have won the game. So they didn't really gain anything of it. And then, of course, they threw another couple of games.
On that, when you say you're talking about the 0-0 draw, right?
Yeah.
So their insider information might have been helping them to get that 0-0 draw. They might have lost 2-0 without it, is all I'm suggesting.
Yeah, I can understand it. Well, that's the way that obviously the panel, and then to go to appeal, they needed something different to win the appeal. They haven't.
Yeah.
They've been caught red-handed, basically, what they've done. We're going to have a debate on and on, is the right punishment. I really don't know what the right punishment, but it seems very, very harsh on the people what matter to the football club, which is the supporters, of course, and as I feel sorry for the players too. If I was a player in that dressing room, I'll be absolutely, as I said, devastated losing the chance to play in the Premier League, and also altering my salary a little bit too.
Have you ever encountered anything like this before? Have you heard of it?
We've heard of it before, and probably I think the Southampton manager or whatever, who the staff is well, it's normal on the continent, or it's normal in this country, and we seen Bielsa do it, didn't we? And he said, well, he just brushed it off, as it happens all the time. I'm not so sure it does in England. That's for sure.
You've never been.
I've never. I don't know. It is today's world. of what you're going to gain from it, because you can see every game that Middlesbrough played on. You know, everybody's got these Y-Scout and all the rest of it you do the analysis on these teams week in and week out. You know what Middlesbrough's strengths is, how they're going to play. They've played the same way basically all season since this new manager come in.
I saw a Southampton fan, a very irate and angry Southampton fan on social media, cutting up his shirt, saying he felt let down by the club. Do you think there will be Southampton fans out there that will now stop supporting that club because they feel so let down by them?
Possibly, but you know, supporting your football club is the passion of really what makes England so unique, in my opinion. I mean, I was in a cab getting here today. The guy was a mad Arsenal fan. The passion that came out of him, it was great listening to him. And he was revealing this one and that one, and you could hear in him that it meant something to him. And the people of Southampton and the supporters can be rightly so, that you'd be looking at your club and thinking, why on earth have we done that? What are we for? 1%? I don't think 1% makes a difference to winning a semi-final of a first leg. I really can't see what the real advantage is. I think they're trying to be clever, and they've been caught, and they'll be really disappointed, the Southampton fans, and rightly so, and probably out of pocket. They've booked hotels and all the rest of it to make sure it's going to be a day out, and they've had a bit of a traumatic 12 months. There's been a trip to Wembley taken away from them.
If you were a player,
I'd be knocking the door. And I'm not so sure I want to be taking legal action, but I'll be knocking the door and asking the question of why. Why on earth have we done this? Now, it might be commonplace that he's done it. If he's done it 3, 4, 5 times, 3 times that he's admitted to, ironically, he's admitted to when they haven't had a result. So I'd be pretty shocked that he hasn't done it. Probably that he thinks it's just normal, that I'll do it, every game I'm going to play, I'm going to have something on the opposition. I find it staggering in today's world, as I said to you, with the technology that every club has got, that you need to do these things.
Let's take calls on it, shall we? 03717223344. I really want to hear from Southampton fans if you are now questioning whether or not you'll continue to support Southampton. I've seen quite a few Saints fans online ripping up their shirt, cutting it up. And I just want to know if that's a thing, Southampton fans. How let down are you by your club? Have you even considered giving up your support for Southampton because they have let you down? Reminder, of course, you can hear Southampton fans, Hull against Middlesbrough in that Championship playoff final. It's this Saturday, kicks off 3:30. It's live from Wembley. And, of course, you can hear the League One and League Two playoffs finals across the weekend as well. Still to come, we'll be hearing your questions in What's Happening, Bruce. There's still time to get me in 03717223344. First, time for a bit of no Googling. I really want to hear from Southampton fans, by the way. If you are even contemplating giving up your support for Southampton because they've let you down, I want to hear from you. 03717223344. We'll take your call in a moment. Right, here's the question. Aston Villa become the 6th English side to win the Europa League or the old UEFA Cup. We want to know, can you name the other 5 winners of that comp? I could name a few. Steve's writing them down. Look, he's going for it. The answer to that and more of your calls. What's happening, Brucey? We've got lots happening in the last 90 minutes. It's effectively half-time on Drive Time on talkSPORT.
It is a sensational story and so many strands to it. And I've seen a lot of Southampton fans who've come out in condemnation of the club. They say this is the darkest day in their long history. And I think a lot of Southampton fans are quite embarrassed at the way in which their name has been dragged through the mud. As you say, the punishment is immediate expulsion from that playoff final on Saturday, the £200 million game. So they have been stolen of the right to possibly get back into the Premier League the first time of asking, and a 4-point deduction for the start of next season. That's because, as I understand it, the EFL argued that the playoffs needed to be treated as a separate cup competition. Obviously, Southampton admitted spying on Middlesbrough, so that's where that punishment comes from. They also admitted over the course of this hearing of the Independent Commission spying on at least 2 other Championship teams, which is why there's also a points penalty for next season. Southampton appealed it immediately, not because they feel they're innocent, but because they feel the punishment doesn't really befit the crime. One of the things I was told coming out of St Mary's is they feel this is unprecedented. It is, because there isn't a precedent. I know that Marcelo Bielsa escaped with a fine, but it was only after that incident ahead of the Leeds final playoff with Derby that it was put in the rule book. So this is uncharted territory. Southampton have told staff in an email that I've seen from the Chief Executive, Phil Parsons, their legal team are confident they've got a strong case. They're going to keep preparing for this game on Saturday. I don't think it's going to be overturned in terms of Southampton being allowed to play this final. What could happen is a sort of halfway house where the points deduction gets rescinded. But I think there's enough evidence that Southampton will not take their place at Wembley. We're hearing stories of analysts dressing as staff wearing the kits of non-league Eastleigh when Ipswich were using their training ground in order to spy. So this is quite sinister in many ways. This is not just some bloke who's turned up at the Middlesbrough training ground and filmed a few minutes of training. So I think they're banged to rights. I think they've shown very little contrition. I think it's poor that we haven't had a statement from Southampton in the aftermath of this punishment. We still haven't heard officially from the club.
Yeah,
we're a long way down the line now. Surely they should have had something prepared.
Following last night's Europa League final, Gabby Agbonlahor says it's now a no-brainer as to who starts at 10 for England this summer.
Ali, there's no debate between now and the World Cup of who's going to play number 10. We're going to need something else to talk about on talkSPORT because it's Morgan Rogers.
And the question is, can Unai Emery's side now kick on domestically?
I don't see how Villa can, because it's weighted against them. Could they with this manager? Could they with this owners? Could they with this scale of a football club and their support base? Absolutely could. Will they be allowed by the construct of the way that the rules are put in place now? How can they?
Now, could Southampton sack Tonda Eckert by the end of today? He's arrived at the training ground and we understand Saints owner Dragan Solak is en route. Well, the FA has opened up its own investigation into the individuals involved in Spygate, and do Hull City have a case to sue the EFL if they lose this weekend's playoff final? Here's football finance expert Stefan Borson.
I think there is an argument to run that says Middlesbrough are out. Millwall are out. So there is nobody left in this mini competition that we're talking about. There is nobody left for Hull to play.
And PSG's Ousmane Dembele is confident he'll be fit for the Champions League final. That's despite limping off during their final league game of this season.
It's a bit dull, this music, isn't it? Do you like this? Oh, I think this is what we call library music, Steve Bruce. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, I've never said. Is it UB40? Yeah, sorry.
Oh, yeah,
UB40.
yeah, you better UB40.
Do you like them?
Yeah, why not?
Are you favourites?
Are they? No, not one of the favourites. No,
okay.
but are they Birmingham based on that?
Are they? Okay, is that? Before the break, ask the question. Steve Bruce has written down his answers. Hopefully, he's got.
Well,
Villa become the 6th English side to win the Europa League or the old UEFA Cup. Can you name the other 5? Go for it, Steve Bruce.
Spurs
is 1.
Man U
is 2.
Chelsea
is 3. 2 left. Do you know producer Joe? Do you know his team?
No, but you're going to tell me.
It's one of them.
Is it one of them?
John Walk.
Oh, Ipswich.
Ipswich.
Wow, back in the day,
And
yeah.
the other one, second biggest team in the Premier League behind Man United.
Man City.
Liverpool fans will thank you for that. Liverpool. Still to come, we'll have some fun, the best to talk sport. Now, right, I've been waiting all day for this. Right, how about this? This year marks 40 years since Sir Alex Ferguson took over as Manchester United manager. And today, of course, I'm alongside Steve Bruce, who joined the club a year later. Went on to make 417 appearances under the great man, winning 12 trophies along the way. And, of course, going on to captain the side. Right, Steve Bruce. Oh, go on, what, are you going to correct me on something?
No, I have to say now, a Community Shield's part of...
Do you want him to? Is that more than 12?
Well, no, I'm quite happy with 12. I was quite happy with 12. But when I heard Pep had won 20, I thought, wow, that's an awful lot. And he'd come out with the Community Shield.
Oh, like 18 Community Shields. Okay.
I didn't think they counted, but there you go.
Oh, well, am I counting yours? Hold on.
Yeah.
I am. You've got 3. I'm counting yours. 3 of yours, yeah. But you've won.
We drew one with Liverpool, actually. I think we shared it.
Yeah, that should never happen.
That shouldn't have happened.
Right. Tell me how the move first came about. How did you find out Sir Alex came in for you? Did he speak to you? What happened?
Well, Big Brian Gunn had just joined Norwich and he was the goalkeeper. A goalkeeper who'd come down from Aberdeen. And Big Brian used to come and babysit my kids back in the day, would you believe? And
why?
Well, he was a teammate of mine and he was only a young lad. And if I was taking the good lady out, he'd come round and look after the little ones, basically.
You pay him?
Of course. Well, he'd never take it. Right. Although Gunny would take it, if I'm being honest. No, anyway, he came round one day and said, I've just had Sir Alex on the phone. He didn't call him Sir Alex. I've just had my old gaffer on the phone asking all about you and what you were like and this, that and the other. And I thought, oh, really? So I says, well, I hope you put in a good word, that's for sure. And he said, oh, hey. Well, anyway, then ironically, about 2-3 days later, the phone goes. And I pick up the phone and, Steve, it's Alex Ferguson here. And the first thing I said to him was, behave yourself, Gunny. Will you go and take a run? Stop it, would you? Because I thought he was just imitating him. And he sort of reminded me very, very quickly, Sir Alex.
Yeah.
No, it is me. Sort of stern voice. And I said, I believe you're due to speak to Spurs over the next few days. And no disrespect to Spurs, which was on the cards apparently. Norwich had been mumbling there was a deal to be done with Spurs, or I'd give them first refusal. And as soon as I spoke to Sir Alex, I wanted to go and play for Man U, and that's all he wanted to hear was, he went, I says, I'll crawl there tomorrow, count me in. And that's the way it started, and it took a few weeks to get over the line, but that's the way it started.
A lot of people listening to this won't remember when Manchester United brought in Sir Alex. Of course, Ron Atkinson left.
Yeah.
Sir Alex came in, he'd done wonders up in Aberdeen.
Well, what he did up in Aberdeen in Scotland was quite remarkable too. I mean, them winning the big European trophy as well, didn't they?
That was the last time Real Madrid lost in the European final as well.
Incredible.
Yeah. But my question was going to be, when you met Sir Alex and his early days at Manchester United, he wasn't the Sir Alex that we know now, right?
No, but it for example, when they wanted me there on the Thursday, so they sent a little plane, and I was thinking, these private jets fly in. This was a little propeller job, by the way, and it was older than me, I think, at the time, this plane. And but at the airport was him there waiting to pick us up in his car and take me bags and carry the bags. And even from that to start with, well, that's a bit, unbelievable. Look, the foresight they give him the years, a bit like what Arsenal have done with Arteta. There's a lot of people saying, oh, Arteta hasn't got it, this, that and the other. I'm delighted that Arsenal have stuck with him and they've had a plan that this is going to happen. And thankfully, the people who run Man U could see the future that he was. And yes, it took him a while to get started, but once he did and we won the first one, then it became Well, it became the Alex Ferguson show. He was really immense.
There's
what he did.
that famous moment, supposedly, where Mark Robbins got Manchester United out of trouble with that FA Cup goal against Forest, right?
Yep.
Were you aware? Is that a thing that had you lost that game, it might have been the end of Sir Alex or not?
Well, the speculation was all about that because let's be honest, we were halfway down the division, which is never going to be accepted for Man U. And the big thing back in the day was a bit like Arsenal have gone 22 years or whatever. Man U had gone 20 odd years without winning the league, which was we had to knock Liverpool off the perch, and that Liverpool team was a very, very, very good team, as good a team as there was. So that was the challenge, to knock Liverpool off the perch, and thankfully he was given enough time. I was his third signing. I think he signed Brian McClare and Viv Anderson before me, and I was around about the Christmas time. I made my debut December 1986, 87. So yeah, that was the start.
Half-time speeches and pre-match speeches, were they a big thing in the dressing room?
Look, as soon as you meet Sir Alex, or if you've ever got to know him or whatever, the big thing that he's a winner, and he's tough and fair, and look, he's immensely talented. As we're speaking off camera, off microphone before, the introduction of the kids back and when he did it, and letting Ince and Kanchelskis and Hughes go and not bring anybody in and bring these kids into this environment was, for me, arguably the best piece of management that anybody could. If somebody had said to me them 5 or 6 would go on to practically play for Man U for 10 years and having the success that they had, I think we'd all be doubting it. But he had this clear vision that these kids were good enough. And as I said, that art of management, to see that and see that vision, 5 players out the youth team to come and play is quite remarkable.
Would you mind telling the story again? So you and I were talking about off mic, that time that you knocked on the door when you found out we had superstars there, Paul Ince, Kanchelskis, I think there was one other.
I said Paul Ince, Mark Hughes, Paul Ince, Andrei Kanchelskis, 3 top players. And let's be fair, we had just lost the double again in 85. We'd won it in 94, lost it in 95, won it again in 96. I knocked on the door, and I don't know where I got the bravery from, by the way. I knocked on the door and said to him, boss, that dressing room down there, they're all asking one thing. Are we bringing anybody in? We've got 2 weeks before the start of the season. We know anybody coming to join us and give us a hand? He went, no, the young'uns are ready. So I want you to go down in that dressing room and tell them that they're ready. So and I had a shock at asking the question where I've got the bravery from to start with, but in no uncertain terms, he told me to get out and tell the dressing room the same thing. These kids are ready. And how right he was. I have to say, all of us were scratching our heads and thinking, wow, that's a big statement to fill them shoes, what them lads have done.
Did you know, as soon as you saw them, when you saw Scholes and Becks and...
Well, listen, they were all mighty talented. Giggs was the stick-on one. Giggs, I've never seen anybody like Giggs when he was 15, 16. I mean, he was training with us when he was 15, 16 and playing against Viv Anderson, who was England's right back at the time, and taking the mickey out of him. I mean, he was that good. I mean, there was no question that Ryan Giggs was going to make it and be a top player. He's the only one I've ever seen that you think, from a young age, wow, that is something special. Giggsy was. Scholesy and Beckham and all the rest of it. Scholesy had terrible problems with his knee. He had terrible problems with...
What age?
15, 16. Wow. Yeah, he had a big problem with his knee. Also, he couldn't go out in the sun if it was too hot because it would burn him and all the rest of it. But when he got on the pitch, he was like a magician. The kid was like... But we've all seen young players come and go, and the one thing about David Beckham too was driven by his desire to be a football player. Whether he was ever going to be tough enough was always the question. And how tough did he turn out to be? Mentally stronger than most, and physically turned himself into a machine. So all of them in later life, but when they were young, collectively, you know, as I said, 1 or 2 to come through, maybe 5 of them. Butty as well, driven by this desire to do well. They were all quite remarkable football players.
I have to ask you as well, as a Man United fan, but I'm sure people want to hear about it. The first time you ever saw Eric Cantona at the club, what was that like?
Oh, well, I've never seen anybody walk into Old Trafford and literally turn the collar up and say, this is my stage. From the moment, I think he come on as a sub against Man City, from the moment he come into the theatre or the stadium, it was as if he owned it. Now, everybody, he's remarkably quiet and shy and introverted. People would find that remarkable to say that, but he was. But he had this edge about him, or where he had this real wonderful way of carrying himself when he walked in anywhere. I've never seen anybody hold a room like he did. To have all of that, you have to be a talent as a special football player and back it up. And he backed it up. He was simply a terrific signing. As I said, I've never seen anybody march into Old Trafford and take over the place the way he did. In big games, he scored. Big moments, he made a goal. He was a terrific footballer. And totally nuts, but great nuts with it.
Yeah, I bet. I could talk all day about that. It's fantastic. Hopefully we'll have time for more of that a bit later on in the show. Right, where are we at? Yes, I should remind you, in case you're turning on your radio now for the first time, I'm sure you already know, the wonderful Adrian Dome. He's going to bring you Thomas Tuchel's England squad for this summer's World Cup when he hosts the breakfast show tomorrow morning with Stuart Pearce. Now, we already brought you our exclusive news that Harry Maguire will not be in that squad. Now talkSPORT understands there is also no space for his Man United teammate Luke Shaw. We understand Newcastle's Lewis Hall will be one of the left-backs in the squad. More breaking news. We're getting it again before anyone else. Luke Shaw will not be on the plane. talkSPORT understands. A quick word from you about that? You and I were talking about left-backs, and I said Luke Shaw's one. And you, of course, yeah.
Yeah,
so we're both.
I wonder where that leaves Dan Burn then, because would he be one could play left-back? No. Yeah, as I said, we're going to hear all sorts now, and the debate will be for everybody, you know, it's a big call as well, because Luke Shaw has arguably had as good a season as he's had in years. And again, probably O'Reilly's going to be the first choice, you would have thought. But I would have thought Luke Shaw might have been the backup, but Lewis Hall.
Breaking news always here on talkSPORT, so we know now. We brought you exclusive news. Harry Maguire's not part of that England squad. We understand Luke Shaw will also not be on the plane, and we understand Newcastle's Lewis Hall will be one of the left-backs in the squad. I'll tell you what you don't want to do. You don't want to turn your radio off. You're listening to talkSPORT. You're listening to Drive Time. We get the breaking news before anyone else on the planet.
I mean, he's been given 7 years. And of course, during that 7 years, what he's done is incremental progress. There's a little bit of flatlining. I mean, I wrote an article in 2023 saying that they had to spend £250 million to stand still after that first season where they finished second and they blew it themselves. And they did spend £250 million to stand still because they finished second each season. But you've seen the evolution of his thinking. You've seen the evolution of the manner in which it interacts with the media. You've seen the style of play change. Yeah. But you've also seen them become more competitive in Europe at the same time, because people turn around and say you can't have both. If you're going to do well in the league, you might find yourself being compromised in the Champions League, but they've gone deeper in the Champions League than perhaps some of their predecessors, notably Arsene Wenger did for significant periods of his time during his tenure. So he's won on most fronts. So you have to give him all of the plaudits that this achievement deserves, because the end has justified the means.
What was the defining moment, Danny? Did the signing of Declan Rice appear on that particular list, if you're looking at what really clinched it?
Well, he's been a big factor, but he's been there a little while where they haven't got over the line. So I actually thought this season, the defeat at Arsenal kind of Man City set them free a little bit, because then they became the chaser and it was a bit like, oh, nothing to lose, let's go. And they went again. Although they weren't brilliant, it still gave them a new focus and a new impetus.
Well, some thought they'd bottle it after that.
They did, because they've done it before. But I think Arteta deserves... When you look at the numbers, which I was looking at last night for the last 4 seasons, the 3 seconds and then the win, this is their most pragmatic season. They've been more They've scored more goals in previous seasons. They've been more expansive, let's say, better to watch. And he made a conscious choice this season of becoming even more resilient and more difficult to play against.
Yeah.
And that is a brave decision, side, because if it didn't go well,
it can be castigated.
Yeah.
I mean, success in football has an irony because it's often an orphan. It's attributed to one person, and failure has many fathers. In this instance, success has many fathers because I think you can take it back to the decision to break up the dressing room, to get rid of Aubameyang, and to be supported in doing that. For Kroenke to have the penny drop and bring his son into it, so there's day-to-day interaction between the ownership model and their change of direction from being people that were prepared to invest very little to people that are prepared to give the first-team manager the tools to go up against the opposition. So I think all of these things on the way bring out this end results.
It's Danny Dyer! Wig, not wig.
It's a nutty canister, either way. I mean, look at the nut on it.
Bob Odenkirk! Saul was great. He was just a breath of fresh air. Amelia Clark! Star Wars versus Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, definitely.
Go.
I'm loyal.
Don't tell Alex Hassel!
In season 2, a lot of us get our clothes off.
You do know you did that in season 1?
Exactly, that's true, yeah. Sorry.
talkSPORT, me, Andy Goldstein. I've got Steve Bruce alongside me for another hour and 6 minutes. We're in partnership with Giacomo. Get fresh looks and great brands from Giacomo. Now, I mean, it's all happening this afternoon. Stay where you are. Do not turn the radio off. So a reminder of the breaking news we've already brought you exclusively earlier on in the show. Harry Maguire will not be in that England World Cup squad. It's going to be announced tomorrow, but we know for a fact he's not in it. We also brought you the news that his Man United teammate Luke Shaw will not be in the squad. How about this? Another exclusive from talkSPORT. We understand Phil Foden will miss out on the squad as well. No Phil Foden on the plane. What do you make of that, Steve Bruce?
Well, if somebody had said 6 months ago that Phil Foden wouldn't be going to the World Cup, nobody would have given that any house room at all. The simple fact is he hasn't really played a lot, has he? So probably it was a toss-up between him and Palmer, it looked like. Rodgers seems to be the outstanding one at the moment for the number 10, doesn't he? So another huge, as I said, big call, because this lad is an immensely talented. And as I said, up until probably Christmas time, he's been week in and week out playing for Man City. Probably won 6 Premier Leagues, has he, at the age of 24 or wherever he is? That's a big, big call. But one, again, where I'm not that surprised, because his lack of game time over the last few months in particular, he's not really played a lot.
What do you put that down to, the difference between sort of now and the last major championships we had? Because, as you quite rightly said, he was a shoo-in not just for the squad, but whether or not he would start for England. Lots of people, including myself, thought he should, but now he's not even going to be on the plane.
Not going to be on the plane.
What's happened,
it's a big
Steve?
call. I mean, again, with a multi-talented squad like Man City have got, he's found himself for the first time since he's broke onto the scene, really, that he's not a first choice. He's not first choice. He doesn't play in the big games anymore, or he hasn't done for Manchester City. Listen, he's a terrific talent. I think he's wonderfully talented. He can fight. Is another one where he can really, really be disappointed that he hasn't gone. But as I said, with game time, he hasn't really played for his club enough to get him on the plane.
Do you expect now that it looks like Pep's going to be leaving, what do you think will happen with his career at Man City? Will he stay?
I'm sure he'll stay. I'm absolutely convinced. And who knows, a new manager has a different thought process. I know Pep thinks the world of him. as I said, for what he's won and he's achieved so quickly. He's a wonderful talent who, unfortunately for him, has had a difficult period over the last 3-4 months. That's what happens with footballers. You know, sometimes during your career, you hit a patch where you're not playing well enough. And he hasn't obviously been playing well, or people at Manchester City have been playing better than him. And let's be fair, until they get beat off or they drew with Bournemouth, what a run Man City have been on over the last few months. Quite incredible. Since Semenyu's come into the team in particular, and the arrival of Cherki has seen him on the bench.
The breaking news, we get it before anyone else. I'm still looking at other media outlets. For argument's sake, the Phil Foden news we've just broke, no one's got that. That is why you keep listening to talkSPORT. That's why our numbers are through the roof, because we get you the breaking news before anyone else on the planet. We broke Harry Maguire not going to the World Cup before anyone. We've told you Luke Shaw before anyone else, and I've just revealed that we understand Phil Foden also will miss out on that World Cup squad. A reminder, Adrian Dunn will bring you Thomas Tuchel's England squad in full for this summer's World Cup when he hosts the breakfast show tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. with Stuart Pearce. We will always take your call on all the above. That's why we're here. 03717223344, so you, the football fan, can have your say on all the top stories.
He's got to make the change.
Oh my God, Mwani's one of the worst players I've ever seen. He's give the ball straight to Cole Palmer. He's give the ball straight to Cole Palmer. We're going to go 2-0 down. I'm telling you, we're going to go 2-0 down. I told you! I told you!
I'm the Chills!
You can see it!
Can you believe it?
You can see it happening! You can see it happening!
I'm the Chills! I'm the Superids! I'm the Chills! 2-0 Super Blues!
It's a joke!
Get in!
It's a joke! You can see it, Marloff! You could see it, Marloff!
Get in!
I could tell you! I told you! We'd go 2-0 down! I told you we would make a mistake! Mwani, get out of our club! Mwani, get out of our club!
I'm the Chills! 2-0! Ball's given away! Cole Palmer! Who give that? Was it Mwani? Ball comes out
Mwani's giving straight to Cole Palmer!
Ball comes in.
Honestly! This team is absolutely garbage! This team is so bad! This team is so bad! It's unbelievable! It is so bad! I said to you, as soon as them subs, I said to you, Jace, as soon as them subs started to get their shirts off, I said, we'll go 2-0 down. Pointless. De Zerbi, you should have made the change 10 minutes ago. Mwani's one of the worst footballers I've ever seen in a Spurs shirt. Get him out of our club. Honest to God. Look, they're standing on the side of the pitch waiting to come on. I said it. We'll go 2-0 down. What happens? 2-0. We are a disgrace. We're a disgrace of a football club. We deserve to be in the Championship. Honestly, mate. I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen anything like this in my life. This team is absolute guff. Guff. They are guff all over the park. Guff. It is disgusting how bad this team is. It's disgusting.
Up Chelsea.
I cannot believe this team that I'm watching. I cannot believe this team. How do I support this team? They are terrible.
Middlesbrough's manager says the last few weeks have left him feeling rather tired. Kim Hellberg has spoken publicly for the first time since the EFL sent Borough through to the Championship playoff final. Hellberg has been asked if he feels vindicated over Southampton's punishment.
Punishment for me is not to decide, and I was never talking about punishment when I talked about it either. I talked about my emotions. That's football, that's emotions, and that's what I tried to be since I arrived.
But how will the public react if Borough win? Live on talkSPORT this weekend, football legal expert Stefan Borsan has given his verdict.
They've been fortunate that they happened to play Southampton, who happened to spy on them, but then happened to be expelled. They've benefited from that. They now need to go and win the game, and I think we'll forget about it in due course.
Well, if Hull City do indeed lose the final, their owner has suggested he'll review his legal options. Hull's manager Sergei Yerkerovich insists his side was always going to be ready for Saturday, regardless of the opponent.
We know everything about them, they know everything about us, so we will see now Saturday. Our main focus is this final game, so no matter who will be our opponent, our focus and concentration is on our team, what we can do there, how we can use our advantages.
Meanwhile, could Southampton boss Tonda Ecker be sacked tonight? Well, he met the players at the Saints training ground earlier. We understand owner Dragan Solak is furious as the FA opens its own investigation into the individuals around Spygate. Elsewhere, talkSPORT understands Dean Henderson, Mark Gahey, Anthony Gordon and Lewis Hall have all made the England squad for the World Cup. Henderson will arrive late to the camp because of the Conference League final. Thomas Tuchel is also reportedly strongly considering calling up Levi Colwill. Meanwhile, following Villa's demolition of Freiburg last night, Gabby Agbonlahor says Morgan Rogers is a certainty for England's starting 11 this summer.
I think he's going to be one of our key players for the tournament, and the Thomas Tuchel loves him.
And Mikel Arteta says Jurrien Timber could be fit for the Champions League final. Plenty more, as always, at talksport.com.
Well, Matt, to last hour drive and talkSPORT with me, Andy Goldstein, and Steve Bruce, who's definitely not going to the pub with us after the show for one pint, are you, Steve?
No, definitely
not. Definitely not. Still to come, we'll be heading live to Egypt there to a busy weekend of boxing. You a boxing fan?
Not really. I don't
Okay,
mind the big fights and all the rest of it. But yeah, I enjoy that. But I'm not really. No.
If I ask you again, you have to say yes, you are.
Oh, really?
Big boxing fan?
Oh, of course.
Good. Okay, we'll have a chat later on. Right. Now, you're probably thinking, why is Benty not here? I mean, I'm not, because I've got Steve Bruce along, but some of you maybe are. Well, that's because we're going to turn our attention now, just for a moment, to Arsenal. Of course, they wrapped up their first Premier League title in 22 years earlier this week, and in the wake of that, our very own Darren Bent sat down with the striker Victor Gyökeres following his debut season in England.
Victor, first and foremost, congratulations, Premier League winner. How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel amazing. It's a great feeling to have won it finally, and to have a few days to enjoy, and then to, of course, focus on the next important game.
I mean, it's been a topsy-turvy season, but for yourself personally, I mean, this is your third league title in a row, which don't think many people know. How does that one compare, this one, the big one, the Premier League, to the other two that you've won with Sporting?
I think it's difficult to compare them. I think all of them were extremely special in different ways, and of course, to win it here in the first year was amazing feeling, and to do it together with this group is even better.
I mean, how do you feel personally from perspective? Because a lot of the talk before you arrived at Arsenal was if Arsenal had a centre forward, one that would score 20 goals a season, that might be the missing piece. And you've come in day one, won it. You've played really well this season. Did you feel that pressure coming to a club like Arsenal?
I think for me personally, I think you put that pressure on yourself automatically. You want to show yourself that you can do it and perform well in games and score goals. So I think the outside noise or the expectations, of course, is there, and you have to respect that. But I think no matter what, I still want to do well and do my job.
Are you someone who sets targets before the season starts, i.e. goals, those type of things, assists, or are you someone that get the first one, you'll see how many you get?
I think I don't set exactly a target, but of course you want to reach certain numbers and you want to score as many goals as possible. And then, of course, if you've scored a lot of goals before, you want to keep that up and keep going on that path. So yeah, that's what I try to do. But of course, I most of all want to win football matches and titles.
Of course, and this season, I mean, obviously now you're a Premier League champion. It's been absolutely outstanding, but at times it's been a little bit, I wouldn't say it's been smooth. There's been times there's been bumps in the road. How have you yourself personally and the group managed to kind of deal with that, overcome some of those challenges, and of course sitting now as a Premier League champion?
Yeah, I think it can be challenging, especially when Arsenal been second a few years in a row. You can maybe it can affect you in wrong way when things aren't going smoothly on the pitch or with results. But I think we've definitely shown that we have handled it well and come back stronger every time. We haven't been at our best, and I think that's why we won the league.
I mean, when you've been part of it, but there's always been a lot of outside noise regarding Arsenal. Why, we don't know, but this season now, Arsenal finished second 3 times in a row. This season, you're pushing for your Premier League title. There has been a lot of noise this season, probably more so than there ever has been. How did you guys, again, as a group, kind of cope with that? And did you let it affect you? And how did you do to keep the outside noise away from you?
Yeah, like I say, I think it's how you take it in and how you view it, and I think we didn't get affected by it in a bad way. You can see it from different perspectives, and I think we have handled it in a good way. And people are always gonna talk, but now we're here and we're the champions.
And that image or that video we saw of all the players together watching it, when that final whistle went, Bournemouth, Manchester City, I mean, how did that make you feel as well? And also, was it almost like validation for yourself personally? Big move to Arsenal, being Arsenal centre forward, wearing that iconic number on your back. Was that the moment where you thought, okay, it was just a fantastic feeling?
Yeah, I think we all wanted this to happen, and then of course when it's just a few minutes away in that game, I think you just wanted it to end and celebrate with all the teammates, and the feeling was like you say, it was a great feeling, a bit relaxing of course to seeing the game ending in the way we wanted, and then of course to celebrate together was incredible.
I can ask you this question now because you've won it, so there's no pressure, but would you have preferred to have won the league by beating an opponent as opposed to Bournemouth obviously getting a point at Manchester City? What would you have preferred it? I said I can ask you now because you've won.
Yeah, I mean the last won the league I think 2 times. I will watch another game and 1 time on the pitch, and I think it's different ways to win it, and as long as they win it, I couldn't care less. But it's nice to try. We can maybe try it next season to win it on the pitch.
Absolutely. And for yourself again personally, 21 goals this season. Every striker looks at that 20-goal mark as kind of the gold standard. You must be delighted with the way that this first season for Arsenal's gone for you.
Yeah, I think it's been an amazing season, of course, with being a champions. It's incredible, and for me personally, I think I've played a lot, and I've always tried to do my best, and I think especially the last couple of months, I think it's been going better and better, and I think I've shown more how I want to play and my attributes on the pitch.
I mean, as I mentioned there before about the number on the back of your shirt, we know obviously Theo Walcott wore the 14, but before him, obviously Arsenal, in my opinion, one of Arsenal's greatest ever players, and Thierry Henry. I mean, did much thought go into the reason why you had number 14, and how did you land on wearing number 14?
Yeah, I think I've said this before, but it wasn't too many numbers to choose from, so it wasn't that difficult. But of course, I knew it was a big number to pick, and it's great to wear it, and it's been going well so far with it.
How great was that? Well done, Darren Bent. We'll bring you the rest of Darren Bent's chat with Victor Gyökeres tomorrow when Benty returns to drive. He handled that really well, but you could see he was not a little bit in awe of him, but it was obviously, he loved being there, and rightly so. It's his team. He's just won the Premier League. When you were a player, did you mind press days? Did you mind sitting down with the media and having
No, I think it was back in the day it was totally different, of course.
Mm.
There was no social media, was there? Which seems to rankle with all of us.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Rankle's a word I would definitely use. It sounds like that.
Yeah. So we didn't have to put up with that, and I mean, I've always treated the press and the media like, they've got a job to do, and if they're fair and usually they are, then you don't mind them at all.
No.
It's part and parcel of it. It's when people stop asking you for a request that you should worry about
That's
it
right.
a little bit.
That's
but
right.
no, back in the day, I didn't mind it at all.
A quick word from you about Arsenal winning the Premier League. Worthy winners?
Oh, absolutely worthy winners. I think they've been terrific over the last few years. They've only been beaten by a really good Manchester City team and manager.
Mm.
And I've been absolutely delighted that they've stuck with what they've done. And let's give Arteta a bit of praise as well. He seems to be not everybody's cup of tea for some reason. However, he's made big decisions early on when he was manager of Arsenal, when he first went in. Big decisions. And thankfully now he's all of them have been a bit patient. He's been second 3 times in a row, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised now of Arsenal. I always think the first one is the most difficult. So I think Arsenal will be there or thereabouts again. They've got a fantastic group of players. They're difficult to beat, difficult to play against. They've got some really talented players. I really love the goalkeeper and the 2 centre-halves in particular. I always think that's the making of a really good team.
Mm.
If anybody's capable of beating PSG, they are. It wouldn't surprise anybody the way they approach, because defensively...
Don't say that, Steve.
Yeah, they defensively...
Don't say that.
Defensively,
Who
they're
do you want to win
excellent.
that,
I want Arsenal.
Do you?
Yeah. I want Arsenal. Come on, we're English.
I know, but I don't want Arsenal.
We're English. We need to win
them to get
conquer
stronger.
Europe.
I want them to get stronger and get more money and be better. That's the problem.
They're going to. Well, they will get better because they've put a nucleus of a squad together, and I think that's where they stand alone. Their strength and depth is really, really good.
You were part of many a Championship, Premier League winning side, whatever you want to call it, and you were, of course, part of the United side that won it for the first time after a 25-year wait. A squad like that is made up of many ingredients, right? You've got to have great players, you've got to have a great manager, you've got to have a great togetherness. What do you think is key when you look at that Arsenal side, when you look at Leicester winning the title, Liverpool, of course, recently won it, Man City have dominated. What do you think the one key attribute that a squad needs to have to win a league title?
Good players.
That's number one, isn't it?
Good player. Well, listen, always the manager leads from the front. So you need somebody driven who drives you every day. I had the privilege to work for arguably the greatest, who drove us on every day. And he wasn't just happy with winning one trophy. He wanted to win. He was a serial winner. So you need that drive. But I also think, I'm going to say this because of defensively, I always think that in any team, you're only as good as your strikers, right? Good teams have got people who can do a little bit of magic. Cantona, for example, big occasion, big game, big player. But I'm going to say this too, your goalkeeper is huge, and your 2 centre-halves and the spine of your team, it's pretty straightforward and simple. But when I look at the really good Arsenal team like they've got a really, really top goalkeeper. 2 centre-halves as good as you get. In midfield, Declan Rice is as good as you get. So really down the spine of their team, they're very, very strong.
Who's the best player you've ever played with at United?
played with. How do you split Giggs and Cantona? And as I said at the top of the show when we were talking about Cantona, I've never seen anybody walk in and pull the collar up and stole the show. He was a terrific footballer. But then I go to Robson and Keane and Ince and, and Giggs and Scholes and Beckham and all of this lot.
You don't answer that.
It's very, very difficult to pick one. But if I was picking one, I would pick Robson or Cantona.
Okay. Great answer. You mentioned earlier on you're a huge boxing fan.
Did I? I did, yeah.
You remember that?
I think I did.
To push you a bit.
I can't remember what happened yesterday, but I remember 10 minutes ago. I can't, yeah.
We're going to go over to Cairo next. We're going to speak to Spencer Oliver. I'm told that the setting is beautiful. I'd like to think he's in front of the pyramids, but you never know with Spence. They could be Lego ones. He's such a tiny little fella. We'll find out. If you've got the chance to watch on YouTube, now's the time to turn it on. When we come back, boxing with myself, Andy Goldstein, and the superstar, big boxing fan as well, Steve Bruce, alongside me.
Chicky, can you hear me, Chicky? You almost took one hell of a beating. Can you hear me, Roberto Dispersi? You almost took one hell of a beating. Roberto Dispersi, you almost took one hell of a big cockerel. Ron Weasley, Beavertown Brewery, can you hear me? Jamie O'Hara, can you hear me, Jamie O'Hara? You almost took one hell of a beating. Can you hear me? Encouraging sign. Can you hear me? Encouraging sign. Can you hear me? Encouraging sign. You almost took one hell of a beating. The SA sign. If you better walk in one side. Adele, Lord Sugar, Tadarius the Pooh. Can you hear me, Tadarius the Pooh? You almost took one hell of a beating. Tadarius the Pooh. Tadarius the Pooh. Tadarius the Pooh. Can you hear me, Tadarius the Pooh? You almost took one hell of a beating.
I can't believe you just pulled out them two masks. I cannot believe what I've just seen. And we get beat 2-1 at the bridge again, mate.
O'Hara.
Oh, mate.
O'Hara's got an imps mask. He got his,
I can't believe you've got an O'Hara mask. You're sneaky, you lot. Yous are so bad. Honestly, yous are horrible. I don't know why I work here. This is unbelievable stuff. All the stuff I do for this station, and that's how I get treated.
What do you mean?
You go and order an O'Hara mask and wear it on the night that Spurs get beat against Chelsea.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
I don't know what you're talking
about.
Mate,
take the mask off. Please, take the mask off, mate. I can't.
Is it Jay?
Oh,
Jay.
What a bad night, mate.
Mate, listen, you drew the second half, mate.
Oh, mate, don't start.
Don't
start. I knew it was going to be bad.
Listen, I don't know why you fall out with me over this. You drew the second half. And to be fair, I like the way that you kept booting the ball out of play just to keep the score down. Because goal difference might come into it, mate. You never know.
Not wig.
It's a nutty canister, either way. I mean, look at the nut on it.
Bob Odenkirk! Saul was great. He was just a breath of fresh air. Amelia Clark!
Star Wars versus Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, definitely. I'm loyal.
Don't tell Alex Hassel!
In season 2, a lot of us get our clothes off.
You do know you did that in season 1.
Exactly, that's true, yes.
Drive on talkSPORT. I have to say, I'm having the greatest afternoon because when we go to our breaks, I just get every story from Steve Bruce. He's my wingman today. I've only got another 39 minutes with him here because we might go to the pub. Very lucky boy. Our show, of course, in partnership with Giacomo Styler Brands for Every Man. Still to come, we'll be hearing who makes Steve Bruce's England squad ahead of Thomas Tuchel's announcement tomorrow. Did you know about that? We sprung that on you.
You haven't thrown any on me. You're springing something on me.
Oh, yeah, you've got to pick your England squad that you think Thomas Tuchel's going to pick.
What, the 26?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We'll do that another day, forget that. Just really, Harry Maguire hasn't made the England squad for the World Cup. Neither has Phil Foden or Luke Shaw. These are all exclusives we brought you. Inter Milan are closing in on signing Casemiro when he leaves Man United at the end of the season. Should we have some fun?
Yeah, let's try.
Okay, let's do it.
Not that funny, though, you know. And by the way, I would have got 2 wrong straight away from the England squad.
Yeah, I think you're right. So would I.
Yeah.
By the way, we were meant to have Spence Oliver, and he was set up in front of the pyramids. All good. And then about a minute before he came to air, he was told he didn't have a permit. That to move him on. So maybe chucked out.
Maybe they didn't like boxing either.
Probably. Right, time for the best of talkSPORT and Friends, where you run you through some of the recent highlight moments from across talkSPORT. Let's kick things off with the legendary Jim White. He kicked off the show alongside his co-host Simon Jordan. Have a listen.
Good morning, Jim. First of all, I'd like to say that was an intense, overwhelming feeling of immense well-being, elation and joy.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Am I speaking to Gabby Bonhart or Simon Jordan?
Oh, sorry. I thought I had to speak like that, Jim, on your show. Sorry, mate. Sorry.
Can I say he's nicked that gag from when I did breakfast with him? No, it was here, wasn't it, Joe? Yeah. And it's such bad acting. What do you make of Gabby's impression, Steve Bruce?
Well, it's very, very good for Gabby. I had the pleasure of managing him for a while.
Yes, I know, yeah.
And he was hard work, by the way, Gabby.
Yeah.
Very, very hard work. But I didn't think he had that intellectual...
No.
Yeah, even though he was reading it, I still didn't think he would pronounce it like that. So well done him. Well done, Gabby.
The fact he can read has impressed me.
Yeah.
Can you do
I have to say he was a very, very good player, you know.
I know it was.
Very good.
Frighteningly fast as well.
Yeah,
can you
quick
do
and
any
strong.
impressions?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
What's your party trick?
I haven't got one.
Everyone's got a party trick.
I haven't got anything
No
like
impressions?
that. No impressions, no. None at all. Absolutely hopeless.
Okay. If Gabby wasn't a footballer, what do you think he'd do for a living?
Boxer.
Boxer. Tough fella, is he?
Well, you wouldn't want a right-hander off him, that's for sure.
Okay. The Breakfast Show returns at 6 a.m. tomorrow. The GOAT Adrian Durham will be alongside former England legend and captain Stuart Pearce as they build up to Thomas Tuchel naming his World Cup squad. Right, over to the original White and Jordan. Here's Simon's reaction to Jim hosting the Breakfast Show for an hour. Very bizarre this morning.
Jim, I think you and I are the future, mate. Really enjoyed working with you.
Oh, you done breakfast, have you?
You mean you weren't listening?
No. So I'm assuming that you've raised the bar, dragged them up to a level of intellect and understanding by being on this show and giving them a sort of direction of travel for
Very much
future
so.
reference.
Very
Yes.
much so.
Yes.
Producer Simeon was absolutely on the ball.
Go on, you need to go on to Drive now and get that Punch and Judy show going as well.
He must have knew.
Punch and Judy.
He must have knew I was on there tonight.
He must have done, yeah. It's not like Simon to be nasty like that. Of all the players you ever managed, who's the smartest? Good question.
Who's the smartest?
Who's the clever? Or played with? Could have been a teammate.
Oh, wow. Smartest as in clever?
Yeah. Someone come in with like the Financial Times under their arm.
No, not really.
Okay, maybe I'll flip it. Who's the most stupid? You know what they say, Steve? If you don't know who the village idiot is, you know that.
Well, Incy used to call himself the governor, you know.
Yeah.
Paul Ince used to
What'd you
call
make of
himself.
that?
And we used to think of that. What on earth is he giving it that? So he was the hilarious one.
Did he come in and say, "Can you call me governor"?
No, he just said to her, and by the way, I'm now the governor. And all this nonsense. And he believed it as well, by the way. But again, he could back it up because he could play a bit. He could play a bit.
Did he have number plate, governor? Did he have that in his car?
Oh, I think he tried for a little bit. Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a favourite show on talkSPORT other than this?
I listened to you and Benty, of course, but who doesn't listen to Simon? And after knowing him over all these years and working for him for a little while, his response to a lot of it is
fantastic.
He is very, very clever with his words, isn't he?
Good, yeah.
What's that when you're clever with your words? What is that? What is
Flash, arrogant.
He's got all of that.
Posh, rich.
He's got all of that. Articulate.
Yeah.
His vocabulary is magnificent.
Yeah, terrible dress sense. So, if you could appear on any game show, what would it be?
Any game show?
Have you done any?
Well, I was a couple of years ago. I was not asked to do a game show, but I was asked to do the jungle, and
I was there.
Yeah, and bottled it.
Why?
Because I don't like the dark.
That's difficult at night.
And by the way, you don't get anything to eat, so I'd be the most miserable man in the world if I couldn't do that. So
they offer you a lot of.
I didn't really get that far.
Okay.
Didn't get that far.
All right. Do you know Ant and Dec?
Yeah, got the pleasure to know them over the years.
Who's your favourite?
Oh, both of them are good.
No, you can only take one.
I know,
with you.
I can't.
No, you've got to take one. It's the game. That's
I'm
what
going to take
we're playing.
Ant.
You're taking Ant. Why are you taking Ant?
Because he's the smallest.
No, that's Dec.
Oh, that's Dec, is it?
A reminder of all the best bits of the show. Check out Outspoken wherever you get your podcast. Let's finish with the Sports Bar. Following their heroic Europa League win in Istanbul, Steve the Villa fan called into O'Hara and Cundy, but he forgot to turn his TV off.
What's we got on in the background? Is that us?
Oh, hang on. It was. Hang on. It's Saving Private Ryan in the background. I'll mute you now, guys.
You've got Saving Private Ryan on the film?
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Oh, you just won the Europa League. You've got Saving Private Ryan, and you've phoned the sport. But
that
why?
was the main
I still
reason.
don't know why Saving Private Ryan's on.
It's a good film,
I haven't
mate.
got a
That is a good film, that. It's a good film.
Lads, it's still a classic, isn't it?
That's unbelievable, cool. What are your top 3 movies of all time, Steve Bruce? What a question that is.
Could I have had a heads up on all of this? Now you're just asking me.
Okay, well, maybe this will help. Name a movie that if you turn over like onto BBC One and it's
Gladiator.
playing, you watch the end of it. Okay,
Gladiator's always up there.
Yeah.
Shawshank Redemption from a few years ago.
Yeah.
And the one about the Turkish jail when he was done for drugs years ago.
What was that one?
True story. Oh,
Is it A Prayer Before Dying, that one?
No.
Oh.
No.
How long
No,
ago?
I'll get it. How
Anyone
long
in
ago?
there?
Anyone
in there? Turkish, a man in a Turkish
He was American,
jail.
got
American.
smug. He's breaking out of a Turkish prison.
How long ago was the film, mate?
Oh, 20 years.
Oh, I know you're talking about. No, not Shawshank. He just mentioned it.
Yeah.
Who sews himself up? Richard Chamberlain?
No.
Oh.
No.
Someone out there. Anyone?
Anyone get it?
What's the synopsis one more time?
An American who gets caught smuggling drugs in Turkey and gets put in prison, and the prison is one from hell.
That's a true story.
It's a true
And that's a
story.
movie.
Yeah,
That's
a
your favourite.
really top movie. And I kind
Anyone?
of get the
Anyone?
Midnight Express.
That's dark. That is.
That is, yeah. For
Good
what
movie,
what a great
Yeah.
movie.
Not to be
Great
confused with Midnight Run with Robert De Niro.
No.
People make them say.
No,
Great
Midnight
movie.
Express.
Yeah. Good answer. For more Cundy, make sure you download 21 Minutes to Go. What a podcast. Have you heard that, 21 Minutes to Go?
Not yet.
Just say yeah.
Yes, I
Good,
have.
isn't it?
Yeah, very, very good.
Favourite podcast, isn't it? Right, we've already brought you news. How about this? Look, more players are dropping like flies. So we've already brought you, before anyone on the planet, that Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw and Phil Foden will be left out of Thomas Tuchel's England squad. Right, talkSPORT understands we've got another exclusive for you. There's no place for Crystal Palace's Adam Wharton. Is that a surprise?
It's not a surprise like the other two for me.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I have to say. He's burst onto the scene, hasn't he, over the last 12 months? We're going to be, until this is announced tomorrow, there's going to be all sorts, isn't there, where would you have picked him? I'm not that surprised like I am with Shaw and certainly Maguire.
Yeah. Okay.
I would have thought them too, but he's a good player, this kid.
Still to come, we'll be hearing who makes Steve Bruce's England squad ahead of Thomas Tuchel's announcement tomorrow. I mean, do you want to do that? It's up to you. You've only got half hour. We can fob it off. Should we get rid of it? Why don't we just talk more United chat, right? Rather than you do that.
No, that's only you wants to hear the United chat.
We got WhatsApp Brucey, so we do that instead.
What I could have done with a hand with all
Producer's
the
fault.
producer's been hopeless.
Something to do with me. He's hopeless. First time for a bit of no googling. He's actually Steve, the best producer I've ever had. He's amazing.
Yeah.
I'll never say it to his face.
No, he just in the mirror.
You know what would make him better? If just once he put his hand in his pocket in the pub.
Oh, really?
Just once. That's all I ask.
Who's he leave it to you?
I mean,
yeah.
Honestly, shortest hands, or is it shortest arms, longest pocket?
Yeah.
Tammy Abraham has become just the second player to win the Champions League, Europa League and Conference League. Who's the other? What a question that is. Tammy Abraham has become just the second player to win the Champions League, Europa League and Conference League. Who's the other? The answer to that and Steve Bruce's What's Happening Brucey, I've cancelled the other bit for you. Coming up the last 30 minutes to drive on talkSPORT after this.
I met Arteta for the first time in October in a restaurant randomly. And I said to him, we're going to win the league because you've got the squad now that you've wanted. It's your vision. These are your guys. They played with your values. And I am certain we're going to win the league. And, this is all on Mikel Arteta. I absolutely take my hat off to this guy. He has worked his process, worked his project to now the ultimate fruition. And I think he's been absolutely brilliant. And I was one of the doubters early on. First 2 seasons, we lost 13 league games each season. I was one of those thinking he's too young, it's too early for him, it's too big a job. And then I remember early 2023 doing a whole apology in the Sun to Mikel. And from that moment on, for the next 3.5 years, I've absolutely bought in to what he's doing because I could see what he was doing. And I just think Mikel Arteta, I want a statue, at least one statue of you. And I want a second statue of that idiotic Manchester City fan who did the bottle stunt because he must be feeling like the biggest mug in Britain right now.
Piers, I've got a question for you, mate. Fantastic Arsenal winning the...
Abby, what about a public apology? What about just apologising to me?
Well,
and
before we get, I want to come in here.
What for?
I want to come in here as referee, if I may. As referee, Piers, I think it's only fair. I mean, 2 words I never thought I'd associate with Piers Morgan are humble and pie, right? But we've got that from you this morning with Mikel Arteta. So I think it's only fair I give the floor to my man on my left-hand side, Gabby.
Arsenal fans, everyone out there who supports Arsenal, I apologise for mocking the season. Calling you bottlers. Great team, great fans, great football club. I apologise.
Brilliant. Well done. Piers, I want to ask you, mate, you
where's
touched
that
on it.
utterly useless half-wit O'Hara who must be, I mean, how much is he feeling? Because I kept saying to you guys, I kept saying we were going to win the quadruple, and you didn't really understand what I meant. Arsenal to win the Premier League and Champions League, right? Cristiano Ronaldo to win the Saudi League, which is about...
Following last night's Europa League final, Gabby Agbonlahor says it's now a no-brainer as to who starts at 10 for England this summer.
Ali, there's no debate between now and the World Cup of who's going to play number 10. We're going to need something else to talk about on talkSPORT because it's Morgan Rogers.
And the question is, can Unai Emery's side now kick on domestically?
I don't see how Villa can because it's weighted against them. Could they with this manager? Could they with this owners? Could they with this scale of a football club and their support base? Absolutely could. Will they be allowed by the construct of the way that the rules are put in place now? How can they?
Now, could Southampton sack Tonda Eckert by the end of today? He's arrived at the training ground and we understand Saints owner Dragan Solak is en route. Well, the FA has opened up its own investigation into the individuals involved in Spygate, and do Hull City have a case to sue the EFL if they lose this weekend's playoff final? Here's football finance expert Stefan Borson.
I think there is an argument to run that says Middlesbrough are out. Millwall are out. So there is nobody left in this mini competition that we're talking about. There is nobody left for Hull to play.
And PSG's Ousmane Dembele is confident he'll be fit for the Champions League final. That's despite limping off during their final league game of this season.
Drop on talkSPORT, me, Andy Goldstein Steve Bruce alongside me. Spirit in the Skies is. We're playing Gareth Gates. I don't know why. That's never been said on any kind of radio station before. Why are we doing that? Honestly, Jack, you've lost us. Just turn it down a little bit. Just turn it down a little bit. A bit more. Turn a bit more. Turn a bit more. Bit more. Turn a bit more. Keep going. Keep going. All the way. No, Jack. Otherwise the joke doesn't work and you don't get a free pint tonight. Keep going, Jack. Look, what are you doing? You're smashing the place up, Jack, now, aren't you? Shall we give you the answer to the question before the break asks? Tammy Abraham has become just the second player to win the Champions League, Europa League, Conference League. Who's the other? What a great question. I'll be stunned if anyone's got that.
What a great question. Stuck with that one, that's for sure.
Emerson, Chelsea, West Ham left back. Won the Champions League and Europa League with Chelsea, won the Conference League with West Ham. Wow. That's an unbelievable question.
Unbelievable question.
Yeah. Follow us at 7. Natalie Soy hosts Kickoff. Tonight she's got former Liverpool striker, the storyteller Dean Saunders alongside her. A bit more breaking news tonight. We've been telling you about all the players that will not be on the plane. We started with the breaking news, the exclusive news. Harry Maguire wasn't going. Then we told you Luke Shaw. We've told you Adam Wharton. Have I missed anyone out? No. Oh, Phil Foden.
Phil Foden, yeah.
Trent Alexander-Arnold will not be in Thomas Tuchel's World Cup squad. No big surprise there.
I don't think that's a surprise. He's not made the squads, has he, over the last couple of... Yeah, no big surprise there.
Okay. A reminder that on the Breakfast Show tomorrow morning, Adrian Durham and Stuart Pearce will be doing nothing because we've done their job for them on today's Drive Time show. Shall we have some fun with What's Happening, Brucey? Should we do it? I think we shall.
Let's do it.
What's happening, Bruce? What's happening, Brucey? Brucey.
I just want to point out, Steve Bruce has got no idea what's going on.
I've got no idea. What on earth is all that about?
Yeah, well, that is people leaving messages for you.
Really?
Since we came on out before, we've asked people to send in WhatsApp voice notes. Do you send voice notes on WhatsApp?
No.
Do you know how to do it?
No.
Okay, you're aware of it, though, is the thing?
I'm aware of it, yeah,
Okay,
of course.
So people have sent in questions for you to us with voice notes,
right?
And we've got the best ones there. We play them and you answer them.
Oh, right, okay. That seems pretty straightforward.
You say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bit silly, are they?
Yeah.
An idea it might be.
Hopefully, let's find out. Here's the first one,
Let's
Steve.
see.
What's happening, Brucey? Just wondering, mate, is there any club that you didn't manage that you wish you could have managed or played for? Let us know. Adam from Pompey.
Good question.
Wow, great question. Then it would have to be something like the mighty Barcelona or something.
What,
Wouldn't
manage or play?
Oh, both.
Okay.
Both. I think I had the talent to play for them.
Yeah, I think so as well.
I don't think I had the talent to manage them, though.
Did you?
I would have to be back in the day as well.
You mentioned before you signed for Man United, Spurs was a possibility.
Spurs and Chelsea, yeah.
And Chelsea.
Yeah, before Chelsea were what they were.
Yeah.
But I remember having a conversation with Mr. Bates about saying that I had to politely refuse him that I wanted to go north. He wasn't having it.
I bet he wasn't.
Ken Bates, woof, he was ferocious. I have to tell you down the telephone. Wish I'd have recorded that one when I politely said no to Chelsea.
When you played at Man United, in your pomp, did you get offers from any other clubs?
I never wanted any. Why would you?
No, I know, but I'm just
the only one thing I never ever wanted to. I had a chance the year before I did leave. I had a chance to go to Derby as player manager. It was in at the time to be player manager, but declined that one, and then a year later. But no, I never had any inkling. All I ever wanted to do was to stay where I was.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for my father, time caught up with me, and I left when I was 36.
What a time you had there.
Oh, I had a great time, yeah.
Right, on to question 2. Good work so far.
What's happening, Brucey? Just a quick one, just to, if you were playing in this day and age, what defender currently in the Premier League would you say that you would be as good as, or maybe even better? What level would you be at?
Well, I've waxed lyrical about the two Arsenal lads. The two Arsenal lads are really, really, in my opinion, two top centre-backs. Difficult because now the centre-backs today are all a little bit different than what we were. For a start, you can't have a kick at anybody, can you? And that used to be a given in my day. That your first tackle you put into the centre forward to make sure you knew you were there. I suppose the closest would have been. A lot of people have said I was very similar to Vidic
Okay.
But even he was 10 years ago, isn't it?
Yeah.
Today's game? Wow.
Well, let me ask you this. What did you used to do, if anything, to annoy the opposition? Were like studs down the back of their calves or
Well,
pinch them? Or
I would
anything
like to think I was competitive. And of course, I always had a knack to score a goal. I don't know where that came from, but I always thought that if it was a corner or a free kick, then I've got a chance here of scoring a goal, because I never played centre-back, until I was 18. And
What was your position?
I was a midfield player or a centre forward.
Centre-forward?
But the Gillingham youth team manager, Bill Collins, very politely put me back to centre-back and thought he'd do a job there, and off it went. And I was 18, and that's where it started, really.
On to the next question. Good one.
Brucey, you're an absolute legend, mate. It's Pat from Milford. If you hadn't become a footballer, what would your working profession be?
Good question.
That's a really good question. And I would have been a plumber. I would have been a plumber in the shipyards, which I was going to do. The shipyards, before. Back in the day in Newcastle, there was a big shipyard building called Swan Hunters on the Tyne there, and I was going to be 30,000 men in its time worked there, and I was going to be an apprentice plumber. And I remember doing work experience on a February afternoon, and the wind was whistling down the Tyne. It was freezing cold, and I thought, I better pull my finger out at doing this football lock and get a little bit better. And thankfully, Gillingham took me on, but I would have been a plumber. Whether I would have been any good at it, I'm not so sure.
Great answer. Can I ask, do you remember your first contract you got at Man United?
Do I remember the first contract
Do you
I
know
got?
how much you were on a week at United the first time you signed?
No. No.
Do you not?
I literally can't, but I've got an idea.
Roughly, what do you think it was?
About 350 a year, something like that.
350 grand a year?
Yeah.
Okay. And at the time, that would have been wow for you, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely wow.
Did you end with that a week?
No, got it nowhere near it. That's the era which I missed out on, unfortunately.
Right? Well, Premier League started.
It was the start. In Man U back in the day, you were an A, B, or a C player. And thankfully, I was A.
Okay.
And I think the ceiling absolutely went through the roof.
As a fan looking in from the outside, I'm led to believe that Roy Keane had 52 grand a week he was on, and he had something in his contract that suggested if anyone got more, he would match them at the club.
Really?
Was this a thing? Did you ever talk?
To be honest, we never really talked about salaries at all. It wasn't never. Listen, we were really, really well paid for what we did, but the colossal sums of money that you see today is quite unique. I mean, you'd see the one that Rooney pulled out the other week there with Gary Neville, something like 17 million a year or something. Wow, that is some salary.
Yeah. On to the next question.
What's happening, Brucey? Leader West Ham fan here. What is the favourite country you've ever been to, and is there a country you haven't been to that you'd like to go to? Great show.
Wow, I'm a travel guy now. I really, really like the Caribbean, especially in the winter time here, the Caribbean. If there's one country I'd like to go to, I keep hearing good things about Canada, and I think that's on the list of my good lady in retirement. We'll probably do that one, Canada, I would have thought. Well,
nice golf courses.
Really? I haven't done it before, but all I ever hear is good stuff about it. So that's one I'd like to visit.
Okay. Good work, everyone that sent them in. Thank you for that, because we can't do that part of the show without you, so much appreciated. We're going to have a quick break. When we come back, one more Billy will be in the studio for the end of show quiz. Usually I say team news as well, but we've got nothing at all. Just one more Billy. And, of course, Steve Bruce alongside me.
I thought it was great at the end of the game, the way the players were with him.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Emi Martinez picked him up.
Because we saw a wee side to him that you don't see.
Yes.
We saw a different side to him.
What was funny, though, when Emi Martinez picks him up, on the clip behind, you can see the players are a bit like Tyrone Mings. They're laughing like, "Oh my God, how has he done that?"
Yeah.
Because then they know that like the manager's not really like that. He doesn't like to be the centre of attention.
Yeah.
But it was incredible scenes, Ali, afterwards. So emotional for so many Villa fans, and we were lucky to be in the stadium.
Brilliant.
All the clips back home, Ali, like so many places showed the game. Thousands of fans on the streets still now celebrating across the world. How many fans I spoke to last night that have come from Australia?
See,
They've got 4 flights to get here.
Same.
Some fans have not had a hotel room overnight. They've got the early flight this morning, so they just stayed up. Some fans have got to get them back through Germany, through different parts of Europe to get home. But what that win means for every Aston Villa fan in the world, Ali, it's just unbelievable. I can't describe in words, and I hope we get some good callers on today. And they'll have their stories of what this means.
I'm
to
sure
them.
we will, mate.
Yeah.
Okay, 6:20. We're the champions, of course, rang out at Besiktas Park as Aston Villa get their hands on that Europa League trophy. I wonder if you've learnt the words by now, Gab. Here's
I
your
know, mate, I know.
Well, listen, we're going to bring you back down here for a crashing bang, my friend. Here's your rendition of that classic last night in the stadium. Fantastic. Good on you. I was just...
Hilarious, mate.
I met all the Villa fans before the game, man, and they were brilliant, Gabby. Brilliant. Older gentlemen, young boys.
Ali, there's been no incidents.
It's a nutty canister, either way. I mean, look at the nut on it.
Bob Odenkirk! Saul was great. He was just a breath of fresh air. Amelia Clark! Star Wars versus Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, definitely. I'm loyal.
Don't tell Alex Hassel!
In season 2, a lot of us get our clothes off.
You do know you did that in season 1.
Exactly, that's true, yes.
You like this one?
McFadden and Whitehead.
Is it McFadden and Whitehead? Is it? Yeah. What boxer comes out to this? I'll give you 10 points. What boxer comes out to this?
Oh, not a clue.
Is it David A? It is David A, yeah. Say David A.
David A.
Correct. You're listening to Drive on talkSPORT. Me, Andy Goldstein, the legend that is Steve Bruce, in partnership with Giacomo. Get fresh looks and great brands from Giacomo. Follow us at 7, Natalie Soyo's kick-off. This evening, she's got former Liverpool striker Dean Saunders alongside her. Just quickly, talkSPORT understands Dan Burn will be in Thomas Tuchel's World Cup squad. So he's taken Dan Burn and left Harry Maguire.
That's a big call. Maybe as well he can play left back. And again, he's been playing week in and week out, hasn't he? So that doesn't surprise me that he's made the 23.
I think
26.
I think that swap will surprise a lot of England fans. If you're going to leave one out, I think the
I
majority...
wonder now if he'll pick 5 centre backs with Dan Burn with the edge of playing the ability to play left back too.
You always find that in England squads, right? You pick a player that can play more than one position.
More than one position. It always helps. Yeah, always helps.
Okay. Time now for this.
Performers on talkSPORT with Paddy Power, reviewing the top ballers, performers and goal scorers from the latest footballing action. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Right, time now for Paddy's Performers in association with Giles official betting partner Paddy Power. Today we're looking back at a great week of football action. We're nominating the players we think made a difference. And we're Paddy's Performers. You've picked your old signing, John McGinn.
Oh, I have to say, the moment where seeing him lifting the cup, it just shows you. 8 years ago, he was playing in the Championship, and he's made himself a cult hero at Villa, and I'm delighted for him. He's a really smashing lad, great pro, and delighted to see him lifting a trophy.
Okay.
Great to watch.
I picked someone that we're all fans of here on Drive Time. Alex Scott, we've talked about himself, and I think he's a fantastic player. Chances of making the England squad are 7-1. You'll find out when that whole squad is announced. Adrian Durham is on the Breakfast Show tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. with Stuart Pearce. 7-1, as I mentioned. John McGinn to score any time against Man City. That's on the 24th of May. 11-2. Oh, that's, of course, this Sunday. There's one game left. I'm going mad. 5.5-1. There you go. That's Paddy's Performers for today. Catch up with the latest odds at paddypower.com. 18 plus only. begambleaware.org.
Paddy's Performers on talkSPORT with Paddy Power, reviewing the top ballers, performers and goal scorers from the latest footballing action. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Now, before we finish every show, Steve Bruce, you're probably wondering why One World Billy has come into the studio. It's because he hosts the end of show quiz.
Wow.
We've got new music for the...
I like this one.
You like this?
Yeah. I can't hear it.
We the theme of Billy on our show is that no one really cares about him. So when I say, Billy, how was your day? No one cares. So we play music loudly over him.
Just get bullied, Steve, basically, for about 4 minutes.
Billy, it's a bit of bullying going on here.
Yeah.
Bully Billy. Maybe it's a
Bully
new
Billy.
What do you make of his haircut? All the kids have that haircut.
I
Short
quite
side.
like it.
Do you?
Quite like it. It's going on, yeah.
Cheers, Steve.
Yeah.
It's a fop. We call that a fop where I'm come from.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
What we doing for the end of the show quiz? I've got a legend in the studio, Steve.
Well, yes, and it's all about Steve's and Bruce's.
Okay, that's good.
Oh,
Funnily
my
enough.
gosh. Here we go again here.
Andy,
I shouldn't. What's going on in this show, by the way? What you got me to?
You know, I've been here about 20 years. I still don't know.
Andy, would you like to go first, or would you like
Steve
to let
Bruce is here. Yeah, of course he's here.
This music's from something more. What's this?
Yeah,
music
Take
from?
Heart.
Take Heart.
Yeah, when I said play that, they had no idea what I was talking about. They're all that young.
Yeah, I know. Well, get me age, Sorry, come on, fire away.
Thanks, Steve. First question. Bruce Forsyth hosted plenty of game shows, but what is the UK's longest running game show? Is it A, Countdown, B, Just a Minute, or C, University Challenge?
That's a great question.
I'm going to go for University Challenge.
That's what I would have gone for.
Correct. 1962.
Wow.
Steve, you remember the first episode?
I was born.
Yeah.
Thank the Lord.
Andy, Steve and Bruce are both first names.
Well done.
Give me 5 more famous people with 2 first names.
Steve Jobs. With 2 first names. Jake Paul.
Yeah, good.
Bill Murray. That's unbelievable.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dave Allen.
Yeah.
Where's all this coming from?
2 more.
Paul. Can you be called Smith? No. That's Paul. Andy. Dave. I said Dave Allen, didn't I?
Yeah.
It's tough. I've run out of them. They just all of a sudden.
Yes, rude boys. We're good at the cricket.
Did you give up?
Yeah, I gave up.
Anthony Joshua, you could have had. George Michael.
Did not.
You got the 3 hard ones.
Yeah, I thought I did well with that.
Yeah, you did.
Go on, we've got time for one more each.
Steve, back to you. You're known as one of the nicest men in football, Steve.
Oh, really?
Yes. But which of these celebrities does IMDb rate as the nicest celeb in the world?
IMDb? What's IMDb stand for?
It's like a, I'm not sure what it stands for.
Oh, really?
It's like
You
a
just
film.
made that up?
It's like a, yeah.
Okay.
The Emmys movies database. Something movies database.
Yeah.
International movie database.
Is it Keanu Reeves, Tom Hanks, or Ed Sheeran?
It's got to be Tom Hanks.
You going Tom Hanks?
I thought it was the first. Who's the first one?
Keanu Reeves.
Everyone loves Keanu Reeves. But go on, it's your answer.
I'm going Tom Hanks.
It is Keanu Reeves. Nicest man in showbiz, apparently.
Go on. Ironically, that the last question is to the nicest man in showbiz.
Yeah, Andy, Bruce Springsteen is the boss. But what percentage of UK workers like their boss?
You're going to give me 3 options?
27, 41, 62.
Well, I love my boss, obviously.
So do I, yeah.
I'm going to say the lowest possible, 27.
It is 27.
Wow.
That's not good, is it?
No, it's not good.
Yeah, but you don't have to like your boss. You have to have a bit of respect.
Yeah, I love
You
mine.
don't have to like him.
I love mine, Steve. And I love you. You've been unbelievable. You've bossed it.
Oh, no, I don't. The last hour I found it very, very difficult competing with you, by the way.
Well, you've been great. What an honour it's been for me personally. Thank you so much for coming. You enjoyed it?
Thanks for inviting me. I've enjoyed it, yeah. And thank you to talkSPORT. I've really enjoyed the last 2-3 months. I've done a lot of co-commentary,
nice.
and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Absolutely.
How nice is that? You coming to the pub for a drink?
Now I'm going to train to catch. I've got to get to Cheshire, and I'm moving house tomorrow.
I'll see you in 2 minutes in the pub, yeah?
See you in a minute.
Just one quickie, yeah?
Of course.
Okay. Thank you for listening. Darren Beatty's back with me tomorrow. Steve Bruce, everyone. Wonderful. Stay with talkSPORT. We see you at 4. Have a good evening. Be safe, everyone. Be safe.
Things though with Villa, right? Unai Emery is the man. He is like he has full control over everything. Transfers, youth club. There's no one telling him what to do. And there's been rumours about him going to Madrid. Can you imagine him going to Madrid, mate? If he's going to bench Mbappe to play someone else, mate, he'd get ousted straight away, wouldn't he?
Yeah, no.
Do you know what I mean?
It's the perfect fit. It's the perfect club. It's the perfect.
No, but you're still Aston Villa, though.
What do you mean, Fundy?
Well, you mentioned Real Madrid, right?
Yeah.
Who's the bigger team?
What do you mean?
Cundy, come on, mate.
No, hold on a second. Hold on. Are you sorry?